The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 380, being recorded on January the 10th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, known as Jesus Walks Out. Today I'm joined by my friend from the Little Ohio, back without the Rona, the Mayo. Steve Willier is back. Welcome back, Mayo. Welcome.
Hey, yes, Rona free.
Are you Rona free now? Is this confirmed?
Yes.
Are you Rona free?
Yes, Rona free.
Okay, good. We don't want you spreading no Decepticon variant around here.
Right. That's probably the best variant to get, I guess. I mean, the way it sounds. It's like the weakest one. It's more a really bad cold for me is all it was.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you're healthy now and no more Rona. You're Rona free. And right, he's back from the Great White North. Special guest Ryan Gibson. Give 877 times seven to the seventh power.
What's going on, everyone? Another episode of Horrible Gamers. Let's do this.
Hi.
Do I sound like me now?
You do now, sort of a little bit.
All right.
Just don't move. Just stay right there.
I won't move. I gotta stay still. The whole show, I gotta stay. I can't move. I gotta stay.
Don't move. Just stay right there. And
sometimes when we record these things,
they don't
Ryan cannot move for the next 3 hours. He
can't fucking move.
Stand right there.
And ladies and gentlemen, today is Gunny's official birthday. I believe he turned 75 today.
No, he's 80 now.
Yeah.
I thought he was 80.
Gunny.
He's 75, Ryan. He's too old. He's not 80 yet, bro. He's 75 today.
I thought he was 80. I thought this year was 80.
Yeah, he's 75 now officially. He didn't want to be on the show because he's celebrating his birthday. He was like, "Fuck you guys. The show is not important to me. My birthday is more important than you guys, and more important than the listeners."
Wait, it's not his real birthday though today.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes, today is his real birthday.
I thought he was January 1st.
No.
Yeah, he's confusing. Yes, today is his real birthday. January 1st is his Facebook birthday. We'll call it that.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it is. All right.
That's that fake hobo birthday.
He's got a fake birthday in there.
When you guys were posting it in the Facebook group, I'm going, I remember from last year, it was wrong on Facebook. And then he was like a couple of days later. And so then, in our group text, between Jesus and Gunny and I, I'm like, is it? It's not your birthday, right? And he's like, no, it's the 10th. I'm like, okay. Yeah. I had a feeling.
Yeah, anyways, this is his birthday. Happy birthday, Gunny. This show is dedicated to Gunny Chief. He is not here today. He is out doing things. And, when he listens back to this, we're going to talk a lot of shit about him. So he'll have fun. Anyways.
Hey, Jesus.
What?
You trying to imitate me there?
I'm trying to, yeah.
Looks like he's working on it pretty good.
Yeah, you gotta get.
But see, mine is not as gray as yours. Oh, look at all that! Look at all that!
Mine's is pretty filled out. I can see some daylight on through yours yet.
Yeah, I know. Mine is not as thick as Ryan's. Yeah,
mine's thick. Yeah, for sure. But that gray came after Olivia was born. So.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, most of it. I had a little bit before, but it got worse after she was born.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome, people. You can follow us on Twitter at _horrible gamers. Leave us a review on iTunes. Like I said last week, any review you leave us helps us in the rankings within your country. And, I had the rankings just the other day. God damn it. I had all the rankings. I had them all.
Well, just the other day is not now, Jesus.
But it's for last week.
Why didn't you just save it? Why don't you just save it?
Okay.
Quickly reference it.
So we're dropping, guys. We're dropping in spots here. We're dropping in spots, man.
Well, that's what happens when you miss weeks, Jesus. That's what happens when you miss weeks.
All these arrows are pointing down and they're red, Mayo. This is bad.
Uh-oh. It's not because you guys are calling out China and stuff last week.
Well, we're not. You know what? Honestly, I don't think we're even in China, dude. I looked up China and We don't have any downloads in China at this point. And we used to.
China is not number one.
Listen, we used to have a lot of downloads in China, like a year ago or two.
Yeah,
and
they weren't real.
I think ever since I started talking shit about China, the download stopped.
So this is your fault.
Maybe. Fuck China. I don't like China. But yeah, shout out to China. If they want to sponsor the podcast, you guys are always welcome to. I'll say China number one if you guys want me to.
China's going to buy the horrible gamers.
Tencent's going to come in and buy us.
Right? They buy everybody else.
We're the official Tencent podcast.
Yeah. China number one. Anyways. Yeah,
I got two of them back. Maybe Jesus, you got two listeners back.
Got two listeners back with that. Welcome to the show. And you can follow us on Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. It's a closed group. Anything you post in there stays in there. And also support the show with the monies over at Patreon, patreon.com.
/horrible gamers.
Yeah, /horrible gamers.
Jesus, you're off your game, bro. You're off your game. See what happens? This is what happens when you're away, man.
You're throwing me off, you son bitch. Oh, shout out to Leahy, the legendary Big D, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Patrick, Chad, Henley M, Pork Chop Poo, Nipron, the best HGP host ever, John Jerome, Evan Big Girls, D. Tanaka.
He changed it up.
He changed it up. He's Big Girls, D. Tanaka. He wants to let it be known he likes them big girls.
Ain't nothing wrong with the big girls.
Ain't nothing wrong. And Jonathan Titan D. Hall and the first HGP Patreon Bill, still even the biggest D. Gardner the second. That is so long.
Yeah, he needs to change that to something else.
That is just so long.
It's been like that for so long that I don't know if you can. You can't change it. It's got to stay.
This is like he's not American. That's like what some British person would call themselves if they were like the King of England. I am Bill,
even the biggest D. Gardner.
Bill the first, the biggest D of the biggest D's.
Go for a spot of tea.
Fucking, some royal would call himself that long ass fucking name. Anyways, shout out to all you guys for being Patreon machines, and shout out to Phantom Egg for the intro music and outro music to the podcast. And anyways, let's talk about video games that we've been playing this week. Let me tell you what. If I was gunning, I'm gonna pretend I'm gunning, guys. I played Satisfactory this week. I played some Satisfactory, and I got like 600 hours in this. And I watched some Twitch. You know what, Ryan?
And the YTs.
Ryan, I was watching
the YT bids.
Ryan, I was watching the Twitch the other day. Twitch, and I saw some guy playing Apex Mayo. Uh-huh. And I was watching him, and he was playing the Apex, and you know what? He's good. He was good. He was good. He was playing the Apex, and I mean, I don't know where I was going with this. I don't know. I mean,
I was wondering where that was going. Like, what are you doing, Jesus?
That's what Gunny does, man. He doesn't know where he's going with this conversation.
The train to nowhere.
He just starts conversations. He doesn't know where he's going.
He was telling me before you hopped on, Jesus. He was on chat before he had to leave, and he was showing me his train setup. So he has a train setup now in Satisfactory. So they rigged up a whole train track.
I thought you were talking about real life.
I thought you were
talking about he had a train in his house.
That's what I thought too. I thought you were gonna tell me like, bro, he bought like at his new house, he convinced his wife to let him set up a train in the house.
Model train set.
That's what he needs. He needs a train set in his life.
Drives all the way through his house,
and he fucking convinced his wife to let him build a fucking train set around his whole house.
Have you ever seen like the outdoor ones, like at the malls and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I saw one on TikTok the other day that people landscaped their house, and it was a train set around their whole entire house with the landscaping. It actually looked pretty dope.
Yeah.
Gunny needs to do something like that. He's got the weather there for it.
Dude, like, listen, I've seen some in people's backyards where, like, they set up, like, train, and, like, they'll have, like, bridges and shit going over, like, a river and shit. Like, they'll have all kinds of cool features.
Yeah, like, they have, like, a koi pond back there.
Yeah.
What was the kids program with the train? That wasn't that Mr. Rogers?
Oh, Mr. Rogers, yeah.
Oh, I had the trolley.
Yeah. And the trolley came in, right? No, but I thought he had a train in the.
No, it was just a trolley.
It's been a long time, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the trolley. He would like, let's get on the trolley, and the little bell would ring and it would take off.
Oh, but I thought the little characters came in on a train or something. I can't remember.
This is where we need Gunny. Gunny would know.
Gunny would probably know,
the beginning of Mr. Rogers. He probably seen episode 1.
No, but closet model train collector.
You know, that would be Gunny. I think that would be Gunny.
He needs a model train set. We need to make this happen. We need to talk him into it.
Gunny needs to join like some kind of old people club where they build model trains. You know, like those old people clubs that old people start joining when they get like old and they have nothing to do, so they just start doing
with a guy at a car dealership.
Yeah.
He was like a parts manager guy, and he was huge into model trains. He would go to like model train conventions.
Yeah, they get into like weird shit. They get into like model airplanes and shit. Like they're the ones that build those cool like little They build those cool little airplanes and shit that could like actually fly and fucking. Yeah. They look like jumbo jets, or they look like little jet fighters and shit. Yeah. Or they build those cool like boats that they put in like lakes and shit. They're like toy boats, but they're big. They're big toy boats, man. And they float around and shit. They fucking.
But how long would it take until his son was telling him he was doing it wrong?
I don't know.
I would be like, no, this is how you do it, Dad. And next thing you know,
I personally think, listen,
totally like, blow Gunny's mind. Gunny's just like, what?
Listen, no.
His used with the smartphone.
His kid won't know what to do with the kids. Don't know how to do with like physical shit anymore. They're all digital. He wouldn't give a shit about no stupid toy model. He'd be like, Dad, go play with your stupid toy.
And go play the trains, Dad.
Leave me alone. I'm trying to build some Roblox.
Video games. Go play with your trains.
I'm gonna go play on my new laptop that you got me.
Dad, go play with your stupid fucking train.
Oh yeah, he returned that, didn't he?
Isn't he returning it? Getting a PC or something?
Oh, he's returning it? What? When the fuck did this happen?
He mentioned it, I think, in the show last week.
Yeah, he said something last week.
That Kyle wasn't happy with. It had a 3080 in it.
That thing has like a beast.
Yeah, he said he wasn't happy with it. They're going to build a desktop or something, so they were going to return it.
This isn't good enough.
That's going to be hard, though, man. It's be hard to build a desktop.
Right.
You want to put like a 3090 in it or whatever.
Well, I mean, unless you put in a pre-built, but
yeah.
I think he said,
which is most likely, it's most likely the route Gunny will go is just buy a pre-built. Yeah, because no, he did. He paid like it was well over $3,000. Well, it was nearly $4,000 for that laptop, I think. God. So, yeah, he'll have the money to buy a nice pre-built.
That's a lot of train sets right there.
You know what?
Yep.
You know what, Gunny? Save your child's life now, like a Chinese would do, and make him stop playing video games.
2 hours a day.
Make him
lay some train track.
Yeah, make him lay some fucking train tracks like true Chinese. All right, and build the number 1 train track in America.
Yeah. Every mile of train track you lay, you get 1 hour of gaming back.
Oh, there you go. Then you'll have like the best train track ever.
Yeah.
No, listen, and then Gunny, all you have to do now, once you build the coolest train track in the country, all you have to do is like make cool TikTok videos and shit, post them, and be like a social media influencer with trains.
Model train social media influencer.
Yeah, and he'll make like cool TikTok videos with his train sets. People would watch that.
I'm sure someone does.
Trust me.
I'm sure someone does.
Trust me. People would watch that. People watch anything on TikTok. I watched I watched TikTok the other day for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
How can you?
I don't know what happened. I was watching TikTok on my phone. I was just swiping, and more
6 hours.
More TikToks would show up, and
Yeah,
it would
what
just
it does.
it just showed me all the TikToks.
I would just straight up fall asleep after 6 hours.
I probably fell asleep during this time at some point.
Okay.
But it was like 6 hours of me watching TikToks altogether, if you think about it.
I remember that happened to me one time. I was on the couch watching them. I was like super tired, and I was flipping through TikTok on my phone. I had the volume up, and my kids were there. And next thing I know, my son's waking me up. He's like, "Yeah, I kept hearing this weirdest TikTok video like over and over and over and over." And he's like, "I knew you weren't awake," because he said it was like some dumb thing. And he's like,
"Yeah,
they just kept playing over and over,
playing over and over again." Oh, man, listen, so bad.
Some of those TikToks, they're addicting to watch, dude.
Yeah. You know what? I shouldn't say anything because I've been watching like some stuff on YouTube. Like I watched this dude, Andy Schrock. He's like a skateboard guy and he owns Revive skateboards. But he has, the reason I got into it was because he does like a show called Turbo Toy Time for his kids. And I started watching that with Olivia. And then I got turned on to all like the other stuff he does. He does like a day in a life and stuff like that. Yeah. And like skateboarding videos, and he has a gaming channel. What's his gaming channel again? Taco Game Time.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've been like doing the same thing, just like watching all of his content and a couple of the other guys that he hangs out with.
Yeah.
And just like that's all I really watch anymore. I don't even want to watch TV anymore. I'll just watch their shit because they're funny, man. Like they're hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But
no, I mean, I get it, dude. I get it. I get lost in YouTube videos sometimes.
Yeah.
Like like the rabbit hole for me is conspiracy theories on YouTube, man. I start with one, and next thing you know, I'm watching like crazy videos of like people exploring caves and shit in like the fucking desert. Like we're gonna go in this fucking cave and like, bro, no one's been in here, and they're fucking like in some fucking the middle of nowhere trying to explore some cave or like some old town or some abandoned fucking town in Russia or something. I'm like, that is so cool, dude. I want to go to that abandoned town in Russia. Yeah, what's up now, Mayo?
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself. I'd love to go to Russia, some abandoned town in a cave where nobody knows where I'm at.
What I've always wanted to do. That's my dream.
And record a cool video, and then hopefully you make it out to post it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, listen.
Afterwards.
I was watching some cool shit. I was watching some cool shit the other day. It was about you know how in Japan that fucking earthquake happened, right? Back in Japan, like in 2014 or something, or 2013. That huge earthquake happened with the tsunami and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Well, remember how that nuclear reactor blew up or something when that happened? And all that radiation leaked or whatever into the ocean, and they were talking about how they had to contain it or whatever. Well, you want to know something, Mayo? You want to know something, Ryan?
What are you going to tell me?
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. All right? That radiation still hasn't been cleaned up. Like, yes, supposedly they contained the leak, but like that town that plant was in, the city that plant was in, is still closed to people living there.
Like, yeah.
But the government is trying to convince people to move back. They actually pay their citizens money to move back into town.
Back there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we'll pay you money to move back here. No, and the thing is, there's like, if you go to Japan right now, you can take a tour of this area, and it's called like some kind of like radiation tour or something, where these people drive you around with Geiger counter, like the fucking Geiger meter counter bullshit that goes that fucking, when radiation's nearby.
Yeah.
And like, I watched this dude go on this tour, and that shit was like, the guy was like, yeah, anything above 1.2 is like harmful to humans. Like it can fuck up your body, like pretty much anything above 1.2% or whatever when the shit goes off. Dude, they were in areas of the road while they were fucking driving, and the shit was like at 18.9. Beeping like off the charts, dude. And the people were like, dude, we don't feel safe. We want to go home. And he's like, he's like, you guys want to stop the tour? And he's like, yeah, we want to fucking stop the tour, dude.
Turn this shit around.
Yeah, where the fuck are you taking us? They're like, well, this is open to because while they were driving, they came up to these zones where like there was like all these gates and like fucking police and shit in front, and like these people wearing like hazmat suits. And they're like, oh yeah, that zone is that's the quarantine zone. You can't actually go in there unless you're government or whatever. Like those zones are off to the public, and they got like all these fences and shit set up around the city. It looks weird because half the city is like abandoned, and half of it is like sort of active, and half of it is like fucking fenced off, and like government police everywhere and shit, and the people, and it's nuts because these people like do these tours, and they're like, yeah, like we just. The purpose of this tour is to show people that this shit is not cleaned up, yet the government wants to tell people to move back and tell people it's safe, but look at these levels of radiation that are still here, you know? And it's nuts, dude. They got like all these like piles of fucking junk, like all this radiation waste that they don't know what to do with. They were supposed to like put it away and like they got it covered up with like these special tarps and shit. And the point of it was to like store it there for like a year so they could dump it somewhere else in the world or whatever, right? Well, those tarps were designed like that dump site was designed to hold the radiation in for like at maximum like a year or two. And it's been like 10 years now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like the radiation is like of course leaking out and shit. Like people are like, what the fuck is Japan doing in this? And like it's all fucked up, dude. They say like in terms of how many years it's gonna take for that area to be livable again, it's like 300 years from now. I'm like, wow, dude, like that is nuts. So yeah.
Hey, I think we need to. When did this become the conspiracy podcast?
No, it's not a conspiracy. That's the truth. That's the problem. That's the truth.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's not a conspiracy. A conspiracy is something
that's not my point, Jesus. That's not my point at all.
I'm telling you, Ryan, the truth, Ryan. Listen, Mayo, the truth.
I'm listening, Jesus. He doesn't want to hear the truth.
Thank you.
I don't know.
You don't want to hear the truth. I'm trying to.
It's not about me not wanting to hear the truth.
The listeners want to hear the truth.
I don't think they do.
Welcome to the Truth Podcast with Jesus and friends, where we talk about the truths around the world. Yeah. I'm just saying.
But now maybe we should talk about some video games.
I'm going to be careful. I'm just saying video games come from Japan. Japan is full of radiation.
This is why you don't buy physical media, Jesus.
Yeah,
that's right.
Why you don't buy those.
Digital, you're not going to get anything. But you get maybe a physical copy. It could be like radiation covered, you know,
all over it.
Corona.
Right, well, at least we're back on video games. I guess I tried, guys. I tried.
You buying them Japanese video games and dirty radioactive video games, dirty shits. Anyways, you know what I've been playing this week, guys?
What?
So yesterday my friend Nipron hit me up.
Yeah.
You know that little streamer guy, Nipron.
Yeah.
He hit me up and he's like, yo, Jesus, you want to play some games? I was like, sure. What do you want to play? He's like, I want to play Ready or Not. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that SWAT team game. I was like, cool, let's play. So pretty easy. We were able to join up together through Steam. You know, you just invite someone to the Steam or whatever, and he joined my game. And we were playing with randoms. And like one thing I said about that game in the past, and I'll say it again, the community is very like active on there. Like people that are playing this game are using their microphones. They are talking to you. They're communicating with each other. You know, like
it sounds pretty necessary though, right? Like where you describe the game, like you almost really need a mic.
Yeah, you do. Like it's really rare we run into somebody that doesn't have a mic. Usually they won't respond, but they will acknowledge your commands. Like if you tell them, "Hey, dude, cover me. I'm going to this door," they will kind of like follow your lead. You know what I mean? They won't be calling the shots because they can't talk, but they'll be following your lead. Maybe because they don't know how to speak English. Or it could be that they just don't have a mic or something, or maybe they can't talk. I don't know. But, so we were playing last night, dude, and I played this game with Nipron for like fucking 4 hours straight, probably. So it was like 5 p.m. we started. We ended up till like 9 p.m. playing this game. And it was a blast, dude. We could, you know, obviously it's only like 7 levels in the game. But they're all very difficult. But last night
When you say levels... Is this like a single play, like just a co-op against AI, or is it like? Oh, I thought it was like 2 teams, like Siege kind of style.
Not yet. They're working on something like that, right? Jesus.
Yeah. They said that they're either gonna have that or they're gonna have 2 SWAT teams be able to go into like one area at the same time. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. It's either one way or the other. They haven't really. I don't think they've really decided because the game is early access. But yeah. So when I'm talking levels, Ryan, I'm talking like you're playing against AI and you're just the SWAT team. You and your teammates are the real players. And it's usually either 4 or 5 of you. Depends how many you start the match with. The max is 5, and your guys' job is to go in there. And there's different situations. So one of them is you're just doing a raid, and they're barricaded suspects. So your job is to go in there and take out the bad guys and whatever, you know. There's also like a hostage situation where there's hostages in a room usually, and there's bad guys with guns. And if you try to go in, it's kind of, that one's kind of hard because if you try to go in gun ho, like just bust through the front door and try to get to the hostages as fast as possible without knowing where the hostages are, it could fucking backfire because as soon as one of the bad guys hear you or see you, they'll either shoot back at you or they'll run. Or they'll radio back to the other bad guys and say, hey, the cops are here. And the other bad guys, the other AI automatically starts killing off the hostages.
Yeah.
So they start executing the hostages. So it's like you either have to bust into the room where the hostages are or like have a fucking game plan. All right, guys, we're going to go to this door, this way, and get there, you know? So it's kind of difficult.
Be like super stealthy.
Yeah, so for like the first part of that one, you have to be super stealthy. Like, yes, you might be able to go through the front door, but maybe you're taking everybody out with headshots so they don't hear you or see you. Another
also,
thing,
Ryan, I think it's all the people are randomly, like enemies aren't in the same place every time. So like if you play the game one time, you're not going to know where they are the second time. Like you can't go in there and be like, okay, you need to take out this guy in this room, that guy in that room. The game will change every time you play it. It's kind of procedurally generated in a way, as in you don't know where the people are going to be at every time you play that level over. So every time you play that level, it's going to be different.
Another one is one of the other cool modes is the bomb diffusal, and this is only in one level. This is in the there's a hotel level, like you're in a hotel, a fucking what do you call it, like a hallway, like a hotel, you know, whatever. And you have to defuse bombs. No, like in you're like in a hotel hallway, like you're in a big hotel building, and you're like in a hallway, and you have to clear each room or whatever. Yeah, so that one's kind of cool, but that one, the AI in that one is different from the other AI in the rest of the maps. That AI is actually designed to where as soon as they see you, they will always know where you're at. Whenever an AI sees you, they will track you and they will try to hunt you down. So instead of you going after them, they're actively trying to kill you. You know what I mean? So the AI is a little bit more aggressive in that map for some reason. They designed it that way. And I don't know why. Maybe they're testing it, or maybe, I don't know, because it is early access, or it could be something they're testing. But the AI does react differently to you in that map. And in that map, there's always like a set thing, like the first 2 doors that you open, no matter which doors you open, the first 2, there's never enemies behind. But there could be enemies in the hallways, there could be enemies in other areas, so it's kind of a weird map, you know what I mean? But yeah, we were playing that game, man, and we were having a blast. We ended up with some really cool people. Some guys were really fucking good. Like, there was a team we were on, dude. It was like legit, like, fucking like Rainbow Six tactical shit, bro. Like we were on top of our shit. We cleared out like a whole area and like rescued all the hostages in like 3 minutes. Like we were like fucking like I'm talking like Rainbow Six, dude. Like we fucking went in, boom, 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 fucking taking everybody out, headshots, clearing out, you know, going like different directions, clearing out rooms and shit, and lots of communication, lots of fucking teamwork. And it fucking was awesome. That game could be so much fun, dude. And like I said, it's not for everyone because it's a little bit slower than like Siege. Siege is a little bit faster, but it is a cool game. And I could see them doing a lot of updates to it.
How long would you think a level would take to clear? Like, say you start a mission, from beginning to end, like how long would one mission take?
It all depends, really. Like I said, like that hostage mission took us 3 minutes. There's sometimes where we'll take 10 minutes. Sometimes you'll take 15 minutes. Sometimes you'll take 5 seconds because you all get shot in the first fucking corner you turn, you know? Like, it all really depends, you know? Mm-hmm. And it also depends on how many team members stay alive, because the more people that die on the SWAT team, that's less people clearing rooms, you know what I mean? So, like,
right.
usually me and Nipron would stick together, you know? So Nipron was always with me, and me and him would always break off, and we would go clear rooms ourselves, like in different areas, while the rest of the team, the other 3 guys, were either running together and they were clearing out rooms themselves, you know what I mean? So they were all clearing out rooms while me and Nipron were on the other side of the map, clearing out the other side of the map, you know? And even doing all that, it would still take us like 10 minutes to clear out the map, or 5 minutes at times, you know? Because you don't want to rush. That's just it, you know? Like, before you go up to a door, sometimes the doors are booby-trapped, and you're like, all right, fuck, like this door is locked, this door is booby-trapped, whatever, you know? Like, you gotta, like, watch out for all this stuff, you know what I mean? Or you gotta watch out for guys hiding around corners or whatever, you know? It depends, man, really.
Now, does it have a grade? Is that what I heard? That you have a grade at the end. So are you graded by like how many people survive, how fast you clear it? So you don't want to rush, but you want to get through it quick as possible, and you want to try and keep as many people alive as possible. So does it save your grade? Like, does it show you like your all-time score? Is that what
I don't know about that. I think it does. It does save your time. Because I know when I click on the map and I would look at certain levels, it would be like your highest score on this level was you finished on this much time, and this was your highest grade. Like, your grade was D or F or B or C or whatever. You know, like,
I wonder.
It did show you that.
It would be really cool. I don't know if they have it or not, but it'd be cool if they had like a national leaderboard, like a worldwide leaderboard, so you can see everybody's times and you could try to best. Kind of like something like Diablo had like the realm runs, whatever. Yeah. You know, you could set not world records. You could set records, and then everybody can see that time, and then people would be trying to beat it, and you try to get the new top time. It'd be kind of neat if they could post something like that, where you could have like a ranking, and you could see how your team ranked, you know, and you could try to improve it and stuff.
I agree. I think that would be cool, and I think it probably would. You know, that's something that the game obviously is probably going to have when the game fully launches. One thing they are working on. So this January, so this month, pretty much, they said that they're gonna add something to like some of the maps. They're gonna rework some of the maps, also add better AI. So they're gonna enhance the AI in the game, and they're gonna add a new voice actor to the guy who's like your commander, like at the police station or whatever, like the commanding guy that talks to you on the radio. Mm-hmm. They're gonna change his voice, and they're gonna add new voice lines to the civilians and to the bad guys or whatever, and change up some of the way the bad guys look. Because pretty much all the bad guys are either white dudes or black dudes with big hoodies and guns, or they're wearing like a tank top. And they're carrying guns. That's what they look like. I mean, really, and it's really hard to tell who's the good guy and who's the bad guy sometimes, because sometimes the bad guys they're the good guys, and you're like, okay, what the fuck, you know, or something, you know, like, really anyone can have a gun in that fucking game. It is like split-second decision, bro. You walk into a room, sometimes the people will turn around on you and like take off running, and they'll stop and they'll turn around and start shooting. So it's really like, if you hesitate for a second, sometimes you're dead. You're fucking dead. You're
because they're pretty accurate, right? They don't just start firing. You take a bunch of hits.
No, they will.
Either you were saying or somebody was saying,
that
1 or 2 shots and you're dead.
You're done. Yeah, they're very accurate, and they will start shooting at you. Like, even in like, say like you're going around into a room, you're about to go into like a room, and they fucking see you, they will start shooting at you, and the bullets, they do go through walls and shit, so the bullets will go through a wall, and they will fucking hit you through the wall even. So you got to be very careful how you're approaching situations and shit. Flashbangs are really helpful, and riot shields are really helpful, and like I said, that game is a blast, dude. Now, you just gave me a cool idea about this game, Mayo. So playing this game and all the tacticalness, and it really reminds me of another game that I played in the past, and that's Firewall. And that's Firewall 0 Hour.
The PSVR
game,
right?
The PSVR. Yes, the PSVR game. Now, the reason it reminds me of that game is not because the gameplay, because in that game it was 4 versus 4 multiplayer only. But if that game was to adapt and say the next version of Firewall or whatever has a PvE mode where they introduce this shit where they're like, okay, you are a SWAT team or whatever, and your job is to go into buildings and take people out. This shit would be intense in VR, dude. If they could recreate this, like where they got these enemies that are kind of smart and this AI that's pretty aggressive at you and shit, and like you gotta tell people to get on the fucking ground and put their hands up, and they could use some kind of voice integration, like voice commands or something or whatever. The mic picks up your voice and you can yell at motherfuckers through your headset. That shit would be like so immersive and so cool, And you know what? Somebody should do that, dude. If somebody could recreate this game in VR, that shit would sell like gangbusters, dude.
The only thing about that in VR for me though is it seemed like any kind of gun game. I always had a hard time with a gun aiming. Like that. They had like that Counter-Strike kind of game that I can't remember the name of it now. I have
Pavlov.
Yeah, Pavlov, and it just felt weird shooting. ADS, like in general, because it felt very floaty. There's a way to make that better.
One thing that I will say is the PSVR, that gun thing,
like an attachment, like that would be nice. Like on the
that
PC,
gun thing felt good. Like
you were holding something.
Yeah, because you were holding like a gun. You know what I mean? Like you had a trigger and everything. It felt really good.
And I think that's what some of it is too. Like with the Oculus, say if you have a gun where you have like 2 points and you're holding the gun, you're holding like the barrel, or and then where the trigger's at. If you're doing it in VR, it feels really weird. And if you bringing your hands together and you're not realizing it, it kind of throws off the way the gun moves around in the game. So it's just weird. It just feels really weird.
I agree completely.
If you had I remember looking online when I was playing Pavlov a little bit to see if they made something like that for the Oculus controllers. Because
it was all weird shit, right?
Yeah, because the controllers are such a weird shape. They're not just like something like with the PlayStation. They used the Move controllers, right? So they could just hook right into the PlayStation or the gun that they made.
Well, actually, the gun itself was a controller. Like that's what it was. The gun itself was actually a controller itself.
So it had like the sensor on the end. of it.
Yeah, it had the sensor on the end of it or whatever, and then you could just use the gun.
So for PC, you just have to have like Oculus or somebody make something really.
Yeah, something you could track with the camera on the Oculus. You know what I mean? And you can just.
That would be nice. It's too bad they don't really push for that, or like a Steam version of that, or something. You don't have that.
Some kind of universal version of that would be dope. But yeah, man, like that game in VR would be intense. Like that shit would be cool. But yeah, so I played a little bit of that, a little bit more of Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not very far into that at all. I'm just past.
So how far are you? That's what
I'm just. Not near the. No, I'm not even
like first mission. Like
maybe first mission. Like I just what I did is. What's his name? Star-Lord. He just fucked the alien chick, the cop chick, and we just left the cop station ship thing.
You left the cop station.
That's it.
So
that's all I have.
You have like the fine, right? I'm assuming you got some.
Yeah, you got the fine. Yeah.
That's it. Next mission after that is okay. It's not a bad. That's your first time you get a big fight after that.
Okay.
You're gonna go to this lady called, I think her name's Lady Deathbringer, and she basically, you're going to steal from her to get some monies. You need those monies, Jesus.
Yeah.
And you go to steal from her, and so basically there's this big fight that breaks loose. But then after that, you kind of end up going somewhere else, and the game kind of opens up a little bit. But I'll talk about it a little more when it comes to like what I've been playing, because that's pretty much what I played.
Cool. So yeah, I play a little bit of that, a little bit of more of Mass Effect 3 now. Mass Effect 3, now that I've given it some space from Mass Effect 2, that I played last summer.
Yeah, it's been a while since you played 2.
Yeah, now that I've given it some space, it feels good going back to it now. Even though I did not restart it, I just kept playing from where I left off last time, and that's pretty much the beginning of the game or whatever. So, it's nice seeing the old characters.
I thought 3 was the best. Like when playing that remake, 3 was really good.
Yeah, no, it is.
One was a slog. It was really hard to get through, but it was doable. 2 was good, but then I expected 3 not to be good, and I was like, oh, you know what? I think I like 3 more as I played through it.
Yeah, no, it is really good. Like it was so good seeing all the characters, all my old friends again. Lizard guy, I forget his name.
Jarek or whatever.
Yeah, and then Garrus, the alien. Everyone knows Garrus. Him, he's my favorite. So is Garrus, and Ashley.
Yeah.
She's all fucked up in the hospital, and I'm like going to visit her and shit. And then who else did I find? Oh, I found Tally. I think she's doing her own thing now. Like she has like her own crew or whatever. And then I got like these other people I found, and I found some more people, and all these cool people I'm finding. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, Mass Effect. Let's fuck up the Reapers, yeah. So yeah, I'm all into it, man. I'm back in the Mass Effect train. Mass Effect, it's too good. It's really good. The game is really good. Like,
yeah,
I'm not talking about the combat. The combat could always have been better, but
yes,
but the storytelling is so well done that like we don't have that nowadays. Nowadays, it seems like video games don't have great storytelling. It seems like the reason I like Guardians of the Galaxy is because of the story. We don't get these types of stories anymore.
Now, it does kind of start falling flat a little later, but it does throw you some kind of neat twist. Like, so it does kind of have some twists in it.
Yeah. Like, I like a good story, man. Like, I'm a sucker for a good story. Like a lot of games nowadays don't have that, and it's rare that we get them. And the problem is that people don't stick with games with good stories. They don't want to play them, or they get bored of them, or whatever. Like,
it's a time sink, right? Like, you got to put some time into them anymore.
I guess.
Like, a lot of people, like myself, I'm always going to the next game, to the next game, to the next game.
Yeah,
like, we're probably an exception, doing the show and trying to cover as many games as possible and stuff. But even if I wasn't doing the podcast, it's not often I finish a game anymore. It feels like.
Yeah, that's true. Like Cyberpunk was a great fucking story. That one, I could see that people didn't play it because of the bugs or whatever. But that story is pretty cool. Like a lot of games have really good stories, and some games nowadays don't. Some games just don't have them anymore.
I still haven't touched that game.
That game is too good, man. Once the patch comes out for the Xbox or PS5.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Series X version of it to come out, but I don't know. I didn't like it when I first started playing it. I really didn't like it at all.
So good, man. So good. That story is amazing. I thought
about picking it back up and playing it again the other day, actually.
It reminds me of like Altered Carbon and like.
Do you have it on
Xbox
shit. Or PC?
I have it on PC.
Yeah.
I started it a while back when we first got it, and it still had some bugs, but it ran really well on my PC. It didn't run bad at all. It was just kind of buggy. I just didn't get real far, and then something else came out, and I jumped on that, and I never really went back to it. Yeah. I kind of want to start back over on it and grind through it again, though.
Do it. But yeah, besides Mass Effect and all that, I actually on my phone I've been playing Kingdom 2 Crowns, and I think because I got that game for free somehow. I don't know how, but I got it for. I think IM sent me a link or something, and I got it for free. And then that game is just as good on the mobile as it is on the console or PC or wherever the fuck else you play it. It's Kingdom 2 Crowns. You heard me talk about it before. It's the same fucking game, but on a phone. Now on the Switch, I was on my Switch the other day. I don't know why, but I just turned it on because I felt like it. And I turned it on and I went to the store. I don't know why, because I never play this shit. I never buy anything on it. But I was in the store and I saw KOTOR was on there for sale. Now, that kind of intrigued me because the game was only like $12 or something. It was on sale or whatever. And I was like, you know what? Should I buy this? Because apparently...
This is KOTOR?
Yeah. So apparently Switch is the only version of the game that lets you play it at resolution, at 1080p resolution on like a big screen. You know what I mean? Like you can play it on the PC, but like this actually has like Switch control support, like it's like a proper 1080p port almost, you know what I mean? Like people were saying that it doesn't really hold up in terms of gameplay or even graphics. Like they're saying like this is not an HD remaster. Like the graphics still look like shit. And the
how
the
old
shit
is that game?
20 years old now, dude.
Right.
And the shit's clunky, but they're saying in terms of any Star Wars lore, this is the closest thing that you will play to ever being like Anakin Skywalker or something. You know what I mean? Like this is like the closest thing to Star Wars that you will ever be able to play and experience a story like a true Star Wars fucking story. You know what I mean? Where you can be a good guy or a bad guy, and like this is your fucking story in Star Wars. You know what I mean? And that's kind of intriguing to me. And I know I've played this game in the past. I played it on the original Xbox. This was probably like 18 years ago now or whatever. You know, I played it a long time ago. But I'm like, man, should I replay this and should I buy it? And I was like, nah. But it's on there now. People that didn't know that's on the Switch. It's on the Switch right now.
Yeah,
And
I didn't know it was on the Switch.
yeah, it was ported over by Aspire, or I don't know how you say their fucking name, Aspire Media or whatever. They're the ones that did the other ports for like the other Star Wars shit on there. Like they did the Republic Commando or whatever. They did that for the Switch, and they did this one for the Switch as well.
Yeah, so it came out in 2003.
Yeah, that's
so almost 20 years.
Yeah, man, it's a long time
19.
ago, dude. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I played it like in 2004 or something. So, yeah, it's been
Obviously
a long
it's going to
time.
look dated, you know? I mean, unless they do a complete overhaul, I mean,
You know
it's going
what?
to look dated.
You know, I was thinking to myself, that's the one game that BioWare should go back to and give it the Resident Evil 2 treatment, where you remake the game in a new engine, but you keep the same dialogue, the same story, the same everything, just update the graphics into a new engine. You know what I mean?
Like with Final Fantasy as well, right?
Like make it into like just like Final Fantasy 7 or whatever, right? Like make it into the Mass Effect Andromeda engine or something, you know, or the DICE fucking whatever the fuck, the Frostbite engine or whatever. Put it into that, dude. Or whatever engine they used to make Jedi Fallen Order, you know? Like, put it in this shit. You know, this shit will look amazing and people would fucking love it, dude. Like, what are you doing? That's like the easiest money for you to make, EA. Yet you choose to make the stupid shit like other games that you're making.
And you would add a lot of new players to it too, because obviously it's been
Tons
2003. So
Yeah.
I mean, my kids would be like, "What is this game?" you know, and they're all in their teens.
But not just that, there would be so much hype from older people hyping it up that a lot of young people would be like, "Hell yeah, I want to play that shit. Sounds dope," you know? I don't know.
I mean,
man.
they still consider it one of the best Star Wars games to date. I mean,
That's what I'm
even though
saying.
it's so old, they still consider it that.
You read reviews right now on Reddit about like the Switch version, and people on the Reddit are like, they're all saying like, dude, like this is the Star Wars game. This is the one Star Wars game that you must play. Like, if you like Star Wars and you want to be a fucking badass in the Star Wars universe, play this fucking game, because you can choose where you want to be. You could be whatever, you know. It's fucking cool, man. I don't know. But yeah, so I was thinking about buying it. But other than that, man, really haven't played much else. Haven't really launched. I think I turned on my Xbox the other day. I don't know for what. I turned it on, though. It works.
That's good. That's good.
That's pretty much what I do, though, Jesus. I mean, that's what I do. I turn my Xbox on, and I look at it, I'm like, I'm going to download this game, and I download this game, and this game off of Game Pass, and I just never come back to it.
I think I turn it on. I think I turn on my devices just to make sure they work. Like, you know, like I turn on the Switch to kind of make sure it works, you know, and then like I just leave it there, you know, like, okay, it works. I turn on the Xbox, it works.
That's how I am with my PC. I don't really touch my PC. I play everything on my Xbox, but I've always been a console guy.
It's funny how that works like that. It's like me, I just feel so weird like playing on my Xbox. So when I'm in my living room, I'm like, this just doesn't even feel right. Like I feel like I'm really far away from the TV because my TV is a little ways back from my couch.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I just feel like I'm so far back, and then this and this and this. Oh, I hate using the controller. As I heard you talk about that last week, Jesus. Your lack of controller abilities anymore. I agree. It's difficult when you go back to that. You know, it's like if it's a shooter game, I'm definitely not playing it on the Xbox because I can't play it on a controller because that'd be really, really bad. And I just get frustrated to not play it. So then I have to look at action adventure games, racing games, and something like that. So then I'm getting limited there. And then so it's like if I feel like playing something, I usually just let me walk across my apartment to the other side of my apartment and go sit down on my computer, download the same game on my PC, and probably run it at a higher frame rate.
Yeah.
You know, with it sitting right in front of me where I'm comfortable and you know, that's for me though. I mean, but you know, like Ryan, you're more comfortable in the living room and
yeah.
But yeah, last thing that I played was Battlefield, and that's of course with Brink. Brink and I are always playing Battlefield. And IAM's actually joined us this time around. And it was kind of funny because jokingly, Brink, because we were in the chat, Brink was saying jokingly, I was like, Brink, I will only join you if you promise me a win. And he's like, I promise you we'll be number one. He's like, we might not win, but we'll be number one. And I was like, what do you, how the squads get ranked at the end of the match?
Squad, like the top squad, yeah. Even if you're on the losing side.
And I shit you not, the match ended. And we were number one. Somehow we got I don't even know how, dude. I legit, honest, wasn't even trying. I kept dying left and right. I was fucking off doing some shit with the helicopter, trying to get kills with that shit getting blown up. And somehow we got number one. I don't know how. Brink must have did all the work, or IAMs or something. Or maybe the other
China was on your team.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, or China was on our team or something. I don't know, man. But
I don't think if I played a Brink.
We won. We won. Personally, we won. I don't know if we won the match. I don't remember if we did or not. But we won personally, and that felt dope. And there's nothing better than being in a match of Battlefield. You're in Battlefield. There's a team of snipers. They're usually up somewhere high. There's usually more than one guy. It's usually him and his buddies. And they're all thinking they're American Sniper on top of some fucking building or tower or crane or something. And they're just fucking up your team with sniper shots, right? Like they're taking pot shots, and every so often they're getting lucky and hitting you or your teammates and killing them. Well, this asshole sniped me from this fucking crane thing. So what did I do is I fucking told Brink and IAMs, hey, motherfuckers, I'm respawning, spawn on me, and follow me. And they're like, okay. So they fucking followed me, and we ended up climbing up this fucking this tower, dude. It was like a crane thing, and there was all these ladders going up this huge crane. And we're trying to get up there. These fucking guys are shooting at us. They're like fucking 5 of them on top of this thing. We couldn't get up there. So what the fuck did I do is I spawned on a helicopter. Brink and IAMs are down at the bottom distracting them. I fucking fly over there and I start fucking them up with the helicopter, dude. That shit was like a fucking Battlefield moment, man. Brink was fucking laughing his head off. He's like, that shit's hilarious, dude. I'm fucking shooting them all off the fucking top with the helicopter. IAMs just fucking laughing. It was a great time, dude. And that's why I love Battlefield, because shit like that can happen, where you can just, you can have these cool fucking moments, and we usually, when we play together, we end up doing we do that shit too, man, where we'll end up being on top of a building, sniping, thinking we're fucking snipers or whatever, we're just camping on top of a tower or something, and somebody will usually get tired of us killing them, and they'll go up there and try to kill us, and then either we'll kill them or they'll kill us. It's just a Battlefield thing, it's going to happen eventually. But yeah, Battlefield, I feel like it needs an update, in my opinion. It needs to run a little bit better on my graphics card. And it needs
thought you were going to say Battlefield. It's Battlefield.
Well, it is Battlefield, but I wanted to. I wanted to be a little bit better. I wanted to. To get a little bit better enhanced, better performance on my PC. Now I noticed that on my PC when playing Battlefield, you know how there's a DLSS performance or whatever, you can set it to visual quality or performance or ultra performance.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well usually, Mayo, I would always have it on ultra performance. And I was getting roughly 90 frames or whatever, or 80 or whatever, usually 80, 60, 80, 90. Mm-hmm. And then I turned it to auto, and actually having it on auto is probably the best mode to have it on, guys, because I just switched it to auto. When I switched it over to auto, my screen actually got clearer. I don't know what happened, where ultra performance was probably downgrading the resolution or something to make it run better. But putting it to auto, my screen, my resolution, the textures or whatever, got clearer, it got sharper, everything looked nicer, and I was still getting the same frame rates. So I was still getting 80, 90, whatever, the same amount of frame rate, and the game looked actually better. So I'm going to suggest to the people using DLSS to keep it on auto. Don't put it on performance. Don't put it on ultra performance, and don't put it on I guess visual qualities or whatever. Just keep it on auto, and the shit automatically. I don't know if it kicks on when it needs to. Maybe that's what it's doing. I don't know how it works when it's on auto, but I'm going to say this, the performance significantly got improved because the game looks better, and it still runs at the same frame rate that it was running at before when I had it on Ultra, just set to Ultra or whatever, performance. So that's one thing, that's really neat. But yeah, that also goes for playing Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever on the PS5. I'm assuming it's the same way on the Xbox Series console or whatever. Like, dude, the ray tracing in that game looks dope as shit.
The game looks really good.
It does.
Like when you turn on the ray tracing, like it does make a difference, man. Like I had it off and then I turned it on and turned it off to turn it on. Like I was like, wow, the ray tracing really makes a difference. It's almost like the other game that I would compare that one to in terms of the ray tracing reflections and the way they look and the way they perform. It reminds me of Ratchet and Clank. That game, when you turn on the ray tracing in that game, it made a big difference, man. Like the lighting, everything just looks a little bit more real, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, right? But everything looks nicer. It looks better, like with the ray tracing, and it still performs great. Like I'm pretty sure on the PS5, the Guardians of the Galaxy, even with ray tracing on, you're still getting 60 frames, just like the Xbox Series console or whatever.
It's probably what resolution is it running? I'm trying to think what the word
4K.
is right now. It's probably not true 4K though.
No, it is.
Probably, because even my PC, like I was running on 4K on my PC with the TV.
I believe the Series X is 4K. The PS5 I think does 1440 if I remember if I remember correctly. I think that's the game they were talking about.
I know, at least on my end, the only reason I question like that is, so what I ended up doing, Jesus, is when I was sick with COVID and stuff, and I didn't really feel like playing with like mouse and keyboard, I decided I had my bedroom TV right beside my PC stuff here. I actually ran an HDMI cord over to my TV, and so I made it another monitor, basically, but it's running in true 4K. And then I actually launched Guardians on there. And then I kind of kept benchmarking because it has a built-in benchmark on the PC version. And I kept benchmarking it to get it to 60. And to get it to lock at 60, I had to turn off ray tracing. But I had the game on ultra graphics too. So maybe like the PS version isn't on ultra graphics setting or something like that. Maybe there's less foliage and stuff like that. Maybe. But for me to get consistent 60, I had to pretty much turn off the ray tracing and go from there. Like I just turned off the ray tracing in the DLSS and just left it at true 4K and ran it on the highest graphic setting without ray tracing.
So it says here that the series console and the PS5 both peak at 4K when it's on quality mode or whatever, but they both use dynamic resolution. With the PS5 obviously being a little bit lower than the Xbox. The PS5 dynamic lowest resolution was 2880 by 1620, while the Xbox was 3200 by 1800. Now on the Series S, the resolution is even lower, where performance mode,
of course,
and everything
it's
runs
1080.
Yeah, it runs at 1080. And the Series S doesn't have ray tracing. It doesn't support it.
Yeah,
So-
the S doesn't. Yeah.
But
Doesn't
it's still pretty good.
Xbox
still
Series
look
S
really good
doesn't
with
have a performance mode and renders at a native resolution of 1080.
yeah,
1920 by 1080.
regardless, though, the game, there's never a point in the game while I was playing it on the PS5 where I sat there and thought, man, you know what? This is not in 4K.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah. I'm sure you didn't.
The shit looks amazing, man. It just looks
It looked
great.
great. It looks just as good on my 1440 as it does on my 4K TV. What I think it has to do is with the size of the image. Like my TV is 55 inch in my bedroom, And so if it's going to be a 55 inch and you're running a lower resolution, it's going to look a little more pixelated or a little more grainy, to where if I'm on 1440 on my 27-inch monitor,
Yeah,
it almost looks 4K because the pixel count is the same amount
smaller.
in a smaller space.
Yeah.
So it gives it a sharper appearance. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
I thought the game looked really good. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up playing it on my TV in my living room since I was sick.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was kind of weird for me though is like a hardware thing is so I hooked up my TV through HDMI to my computer, and I played the game that way. But then I ran the audio through my TV, and there was like a 5-second delay forever.
Really?
And so I typically use headphones. I have a DAC and all that stuff, and I have my headphones and all that stuff, and typically I use all that stuff, and there's never a delay there. So I could not figure it out why. Like I was messing with my audio settings forever. So what I ended up doing is I have like this really nice Sony work stereo with got like subwoofers in the side and all that stuff. I actually hooked that in the back of my PC and used that as my audio, and it was perfectly fine. And it has really good bass. It's a really good speaker, and that was all in sync. So then I didn't have to use my headphones. So I just had that in my room as my audio. So then I'm like, I should buy a sound bar for this TV, which I didn't. But I ended up buying a sound bar for my other TV. But that's a different subject.
Yeah. So is that all you've been playing? Is Guardians of the Galaxy?
I played a few other things, but
well, what else have you been playing then?
So yeah, but mainly Guardians. So I picked up Guardians a while back, and I played the beginning like you did, Jesus, about to where you're at.
Yeah.
I played that part like 3 times. Like I played it one time, reset it. I think I had my son play it and watch, and he was watching, so I tried to get him into it. And then I streamed it one time, so I started over again because you can have 3 save files, and so I made it about to the same place each time. So I went ahead and just picked it up. I'm like, I'm gonna actually grind through this game. I know it's like 17, 18 hours long. Kind of long, but I'm just going to sit down a day. And like I said, I hooked up to my TV, hooked up that sound bar, so I had really nice sound. Like, sounded great. Did my Xbox controller to it wirelessly to my PC, and just pretty much sat up on my bed for a while and played for hours and hours and hours. And I really got into it. The story is pretty good. It did get kind of weird in a couple spots. I'm like, okay, this is kind of not surprising here, or this doesn't feel very Guardians of the Galaxy like. Like a couple things are like, yeah, you meet that girl Nikki. She's the daughter of that commander, and you're kind of like, you find out some things happen with her later on in the game, and then you're basically trying to go rescue her, and you just kind of feel like the whole mission, the whole feel of the game kind of changes, but then it actually kind of reverts back at the end of the game. Then you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool way how they did it. I did play this game all the way through in 2 days. There is 17 chapters, and it's about 18 hours of playing time. I think time to beat is 17 hours.
Yeah.
I have 27 hours on my Steam, it says, but like I said, I played the beginning 3 times.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly how long it took me. It wasn't like I was trying to speed through the game or anything like that, but I remember mentioning before is that you do get some dialogue options, and you can kind of choose between a couple things. I know the one time was, I think you got this part, Jesus, when you get caught by the Federation, you have the llama thing, and then you have these illegal weapons on your thing, and you have to choose which one to hide. And it can actually change a couple little things here and there, like down the road, of what happens. It isn't significant. It doesn't make a big deal, but it can make your life easier or harder. There's one later on where like you have Rocket hack this one like machine, and if you hack it, if you take the time to do that later on, then like 3 more chapters down the road, that machine helps you and tells you which door you're supposed to take. There's kind of like this little mini maze kind of thing. Yeah. And the machine comes and tells you, it says, hey, you need to go to this door. If you don't hack it a couple chapters back, you just got to figure it out. Oh. So there's some little like things in there they throw at you that really can help you. And it will kind of show you in the top right corner. It'll say, such and such remembered your decision, or
you're copying Telltale.
Yeah, so it kind of has that Telltale feel to it. So like you'll be doing some dialogue things, and
yeah, you're right, because that popped up when what's her name, when Nikki, we were in the elevator, and I lied for Nikki. I pretty much like stood up for her or whatever.
And you like gained her trust or something like that.
Yeah, and she gave me her key card, and I was like, oh fuck, I got that lady's key card.
Yeah.
Now.
And so, like, sometimes, like, if you didn't have the key card, you might have to go through like one extra step in the mission or something like that. Where if you have the key card, that kind of helps you out.
Yeah.
So another thing is too, like from the dialogue, like I kept arguing. I don't know if this is predetermined or not, but like you have Rocket is just going on and on with you, and he's like arguing with you, and you're always, and then like Gamora will say something. You kind of have to like pick a side between the two.
Yeah.
You kind of balance it out. Like later on, Rocket was pretty much pissed at me the whole entire time. They leave my team and then they go to I can't remember the junk planet where the bars and all that stuff are at. You end up going there after where you're at now. And but he ends up leaving the team, and then you're like doing a couple missions without him. Him and Groot are gone, and and you have to go to that planet and you do some stuff, and he ends up joining you back later. But he's still pissed off at you. He's still like giving you like all sorts of crap throughout the game, and he's still arguing with you. And you're
that's one of the best parts of the game is like the banter back and forth between all the characters. It's really well done. Yeah,
I love the Drax banner the most.
Yes.
He has these dumb one-liners and all these dumb things he says in there. And Rocket has some good humor in it too. He's the more sarcastic one, but that the dumbness of Drax, just what he says to you and stuff. And that's why I think this game, I was saying on Discord the other day, Jesus, this game is like Spider-Man to me. I feel like it has the same amount of polish that Spider-Man does in the PlayStation. I played it on the PS4, the first one. I didn't play the new ones. Spider-Man, the web slinging feels really, really good. I mean, that travel is fun. But the amount of polish in Guardians of the Galaxy is really good. I mean, it has the licensed music, the banner. And the things that you can do, like, it will change. Like, I had the one time, like, I'm in the ship, and when Rocket was mad at me, he went into his room, and you can go to his room, and his door is locked, and you got to hit, like, Y, and you bang on the door, and you say something, and he responds back. And I bet I banged on that door 20 times, and it gave me a different response each time. Like how in a game, every once in a while, you can get, like, the same responses over and over. You get to
repeats.
that point. Yeah. It just kept giving me new dialogue every time. So I literally just stood there and kept hitting the button to make my, Star-Lord bang on the door. And he would say something different, and then Rocket would respond with something different. And then you'd do it again, and he would say something different and respond with something different again.
Yeah.
Which was kind of neat. Like, it had a lot of dialogue options for the same thing.
I'll give you that. But in terms of fun factor,
well, you're not.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say Spider-Man Miles Morales was way better than this game.
But why do you say that? Because not.
It was so much fun, dude.
Dialogue-wise?
In terms of gameplay and everything, the story, the fucking gameplay was funner.
I think the gameplay is a lot like Guardians. To me, it's kind of repetitive after a while.
In both Spider-Man?
I don't know if I can agree with you there, Mayo. It's not. Really? But mind you, I didn't play Miles Morales. I just played regular Spider-Man.
Okay. Let's just.
To me,
in regular Spider-Man,
get repetitive.
In regular Spider-Man, the combat you can just smash square or whatever and counter or whatever, but you can also like jump up and swing around and kick people and like drop your fucking bombs.
I give you that, Jesus. The gameplay of Spider-Man is much better than the gameplay of Guardians. I can give you that. But I think the story, mind you, I like I said, I haven't played Miles. I've only played regular Spider-Man. But I think like story-wise, I think Guardians edges Spider-Man out for me personally.
Maybe because it's more story heavy, it's more narrative heavy. In terms of story, Miles Morales' story is actually pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
all right.
I can imagine that it would.
Personally, probably my favorite Spider-Man is Miles Morales. I want to play that. He's a cool fucking Spider-Man. Like, I think that they really should make a movie, a Spider-Man about Miles Morales. They should. They really should. That would be I think that would probably be the best-selling Spider-Man movie ever. If they were to come out like next week and say, "Hey, we're making a whole new Spider-Man. It's going to be a Miles Morales Spider-Man, like a one-off movie by Marvel." That movie will outsell this Spider-Man that's like breaking world records right now.
Probably, yeah.
It would. Yeah. I think it would because it would resonate with more people.
I bet
think
they
more
would
people would like
start
it.
Origin-wise, and he would be a kid and all this stuff. So
teenagers.
Yeah, it would appeal to like the kid audience, and no,
they totally should do that. But And in terms of narrative, I'm going to agree with you there, Mayo. This game does have more narrative because it's what it is. You're playing like you're playing a Telltale light game. Is what you're playing. Almost. It almost seems like a Telltale light game.
Because there's a lot more gameplay in this than
there is. That's why I'm saying it's a Telltale light game. It's not so narrative heavywhere in Telltale that there's a lot more dialogue and a lot more choices.
Yeah.
In this one, it feels to me like it's a Telltale light because there's more gameplay, but there's only so many like.
Well, Mayo is all dialogue, pretty much.
Yeah, right? and Telltale's dialogue, I feel like has more impact than this dialogue.
Oh, definitely, because that's what Telltale's about, But
I mean, because the dialogue in Guardian is more just about the banter between the two of them going back and forth.
I don't
it's
know
not
how
really
far,
about your decisions.
How
so
far
much.
into
well,
it
is sort of, but
you are, Ryan. But like later on in the game,
I'm just past where you were talking about.
Okay, because you'll start getting some new stuff. So if you start getting stuff where, like with Star-Lord, you get there's 4 different elements to your guns you can change. You'll get an ice. You're gonna get electric, electricity. You're gonna get like an earth gravity pull, and then you're gonna get like a fire. And then on top of that, you have 4 abilities, kind of like how you have the abilities for your characters on your team. We can pull it up, hit RB or LB, and you can tell them to do something like that.
Yeah.
So you get 4 of those for your character, and you have one where you can fly. So you're kind of like flying in the air and moving around. That's like the first one you get.
I have that one.
And then, so later on, you get other ones where you can do like this, where you lock in place and your guns fire like rapid. So you can change up your combat styles, and the game grades you on, just like in Spider-Man, how much you change it up. If you keep doing the same things over and over, it gives you a lower score. I did kind of find out something I thought was kind of helpful later on in the game once I realized it late in the game. So you have your 3 teammates, and when you hit LB, you get these 4 abilities. The 4th ability doesn't unlock for most of the characters till end of the game, and it's like a super ability of some form. But the other 3 abilities, so if you use like the one and B button, that takes away, like you'll come across enemies that have like this extra shield on them, and they call it like stagger, and you can't do any real damage to them until you break that stagger. But once you have to zoom in on them, once you focus on them, it's going to tell you what makes them weak to stagger. If it's electricity, or if it's cold, or if it's the gravity one. So you have to like figure out what works against that guy. Then you have to break that initial stagger. Then you have to do your initial damage to him. So then you're like, okay, you can send in this person to do damage. But each character has one that can hurt their stagger, and then they have one that does regular physical damage. Yeah. So you don't want to use a regular physical damage ability with one of your teammates against them until you get that broke. So there is like a little bit deeper combat to it down the road. So I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how far down you guys were. And then once you start getting the eye shot and stuff like that, you can change that a little bit. There's stuff with your boots. There's shield regen that changes. There is the rate that your health is. That your shield, how much shield you can have. You can upgrade. You start getting a little more individual upgrades for your characters, and so then it does open up a little more. And I'd say you get into that about mid game.
Yeah.
So I think it gets a little deeper. I don't think it's as deep as Spider-Man. Like in Spider-Man, you get like the combos. If you hit XXY triangle or whatever, you get like a different combo. Where this is going to be more, how do these abilities work together? Kind of reminds me of something like Borderlands. Like, you have to figure out what this guy's weakness is. Okay, you have to hit him with electricity, get him down to physical damage. Once you get down to physical damage, you can do so much damage. You have so much time.
Yeah,
and then that shield pops back up. Yeah. And then later on, you're going to start in the end game. You're starting to get all these enemies, and they mix it all up. Because what's kind of cool about this game is where you're at, Jesus, you're going to go find Lady Hellbender, and you rob her, and you piss her off. And so she's coming at you the whole entire game. This is very typical Guardians of the Galaxy. You go somewhere else, and you make another group of enemies. You go somewhere else, you get another group of enemies. Come the end game, all these enemies are coming at you at the same time. You kind of have like the different classes. Like you have the Federation who's coming at you, who uses electricity. You have Lady Hellbender that uses kind of like an ice, and you have to use against them. And so you have to kind of like mix it up during your combat. So you got to kind of focus on one guy. They have some like bigger enemies you end up having to start fighting that say you have to do almost like quick time events to take them out. So once you start weakening them, it'll be like you have to get so close and you have to hit Y and B at the same time. And then it goes into a sequence, and then you have to do something else and go from there. But what are you laughing at over there?
Are you laughing at his dog? Yes, I know.
Yes, here.
She's just spread leg
Yeah, she's
on the
like
bed.
whatever, like fuck you, this is my bed.
I couldn't see it on my screen because I have the recording software in the corner here, but like if I move it, I just haven't looked back and seen
Is that how she
Dude,
sleeps?
Jesus.
Not all the time.
That's weird. It's weird seeing dogs like sleep like humans.
Lay on
you
their
know?
backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll sleep on her back and just be all spread eagle sometimes. Sometimes she'll curl up and she's
That's
funny.
weird.
She'll like curl up beside me. She crawls under my blankets and she'll get down by my hip and then just sleep down there for hours. I'm like, aren't you going to run out of air? And then she'll come out and I'll wake up in the morning and her head will be sticking out from underneath the blankets, and she'll be all comfortable. But yeah, give Guardian some more time, Jesus. I think
will.
you'll see the
I definitely
combat
will.
change.
Yeah,
You know what?
that game too.
And I got that game on a good deal. It was like $38 or something on PlayStation. It was on sale or whatever.
And
So-
can I throw out a quick spoiler here? I do want to throw a quick spoiler out though. It's
Go
nothing
ahead.
big. But
I'll forget
audience,
about it,
if you don't want
most
spoilers, stop for a minute, whatever. But so when you get to the end of the game, right? I beat
fuck.
the
Oh, God. At the end of the game.
No, it's just very spoiler. It's nothing big.
Okay.
You get to the end of the game, you beat everything, right? And it rolls the credits.
Oh, there's
And
like an extra thing at the end?
Yeah, you get to the end of the credits and it's like
They do a
chapter
Marvel
17.
thing? Oh, they
yeah,
do
it's
a
like chapter
Marvel
17, and it gives you a whole another boss you have to fight. I'm like
Dope.
watching the credits and chilling, and it's giving
That's
you
cool.
music and everything, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Then all of a sudden it's like chapter 17, and all of a sudden
So-
it's doing a cutscene, and all of a sudden this guy you think is good kind of turns bad, and you have to fight him.
Oh, okay. So the game's not over when it says it's over.
No, so when you see the cutscene, I'm like taking a couple screenshots here and there. I'm like, oh yeah, beat the game, da 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 da, and then all of a sudden it goes like chapter 17, and it's his last fight. So that was kind of cool how they threw that in there.
Okay.
Ryan,
Nice.
Ryan, you can come back now. You can come back.
You're good, Ryan. You're good.
He didn't want to hear it.
No, yeah, and then it
I
sucks when
don't wanna
sucks when Star-Lord dies.
Aw.
Sucks when Rocket and Star-Lord both die at the same time, and then Groot
Right?
becomes
Yeah.
the main character. And all he says is, "I am Groot" for the next. That's your dialogue choice for the rest of the game.
I am Groot.
They do mention that a lot in the game. They end up talking about how. Do you remember Mantis from the movie?
No, I don't remember the movie really. I
She's like his.
I remember I watched all the movies. Was the two of them, right? In theaters. So I don't really remember.
Yeah, I think Mantis was maybe in the second one, but anyways, you come across her later, and she can understand Groot. And there's a lot of comments back and forth after that for a little while because he'll say like, "I am Groot," and then she'll respond to him, and
Oh, okay.
everybody's like, "Oh, you can understand her? How can you understand him?"
her. She's the bug chick. Okay, I got her.
Yeah. Yeah, and so she does like this. She gets kind of weird. So she does like prophecy type stuff in the game and
Yeah.
does some things too. So she becomes kind of a key character. You don't use her. You run across her and some other characters that aren't in the movie, but also they actually make a reference. There is actually a really cool scene. They reference the movies, Avengers movies and stuff.
Do they?
So there's this part where you're in space and there's basically almost think like Spider-Man. They're like different dimensions, and so they open up all these rifts to different dimensions, and then like, hey, look at those. Hey, there's the Avengers over there on Earth or something like that, and they're like, oh, those hobos and tights, like they have no idea. They're not nearly as evolved as like the shit we deal with, because like the stuff you start running into is
Yeah.
pretty like has that bigger than that interplanetary feel. It's like all craziness, and it is kind of funny. They make a couple of references here and there, or they do make some references to the movies. Like there is some of the Infinity Stone references, and they're not, on Thanos' gauntlet. And Thanos is defeated already in this game. They talk about that. Like, so this is taking place after Thanos is defeated in the movies. So
Yeah, because they talk about that in the beginning of the game. I remember one of them mentioning something about defeating Thanos or something.
yeah.
Pretty sure it was Star-Lord. I'm pretty sure it was talking about how he defeated.
I'm not 100% sure, but there is hidden outfits throughout the game you can find, and I found one for Drax that looks a lot like the movie. And I don't know, I can't say, I'm not saying it's 100% like the movie, but it looks a lot better. Like, like how you see the characters, they don't look as good. I have seen some different outfits, so they look a lot better. Where they look a little more similar. So
I don't mind it so much, to
and
be honest.
I didn't mind it at all after a little
Out of
while.
all of them, only Star-Lord really bugs me. I think he looks a little weird, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, like the rest of the characters all look good. Like Rocket looks good. Drax looks decent.
Yeah, I thought Rocket and Groot looked the best.
Groot looks
Drax
good.
looks decent, especially when I found the one skin.
They're computer animated already, so
yeah. Probably the biggest one that looked different the longest was Gamora for me. Like I didn't really find any skins.
Yeah,
I found a couple, but she didn't really look like the movie character.
But not enough to really bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all. Like it didn't bother me one bit once I started getting into it for a little while. It actually made me want to go back and watch the first movie. I watched the first movie just the other day. Like after playing through the game all the way to the end, I went back actually and watched the first movie. I kind of fell asleep through it, but I started watching it, and I could see him in little things like I didn't remember like in the first movie, he's like a little boy and he's got like a black eye when his mom dies in the hospital. And at the beginning of this game, he's like a teenager and he's got a black eye and stuff like that. So like they kind of have little similar things going on in there. Mm-hmm. And they do a little bit of tie-in with the movie stuff. So I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah. But cool. I need to get back into it and finish that one off.
Like I said, I really enjoyed it. Once you get past, like I said, I can't remember what you said, Ryan, but once you get past the Lady Deathbringer part, where you go and rob from her, you go to that junk planet, and the game kind of feels like it opens up a little bit from there. You run into this dog called Cosmos, which is really cool. He's like a talking dog, and he has a lot of power. He's really cool.
I think that's where I am. I think that's like
opens up.
I think I'm just about to go to that junk planet or whatever. I think that was where I kind of left off.
And it's the same planet they go to in the movies. It's like where all the bars are at, where all the outlaws go to hang out, and you go there, and some things happen, and you end up meeting Cosmos, and he sends you to investigate what happened on this ship,
right?
Because some things are happening.
Yeah. I met the dog guy. I remember that. It's been a while though. Like I dropped it and started playing like Halo and stuff. So I need to go back and finish it off. I remember meeting up with the dog though.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat. Cosmos was kind of a cool character, but I mean, I guess the only other things I've really been playing, I've been playing Apex, like Jesus was making fun of last week, or whatever. I've been playing a lot of Apex arenas, playing ranked mode, going in there. It's a lot of fun. I like it better than the Battle Royale. It has that like Valorant, Counter-Strike feel where you're buying your guns before you go in.
Yeah.
You have one other team across from you. And it tells you what map, the maps don't really change that often. They're on a rotating thing, but I know the maps. There's only like 5 or 6 different maps you're using, so you know the layout of the map, you know what you got to do, and you go in there and it's, you got to win 2 out of 3, or you got to win by 2 basically.
Yeah.
Or win 3, the first 3. But, you buy, you don't spend all your money in the first round. You buy pistols is kind of the common thing, and save some of your money to buy better guns the next time, or there's strategy involved. I remember one time my one friend I played with, Snickersnee, he uses this character that doesn't make any noise when he crouch walks as one of his abilities. And so we're shooting this team and we're kind of doing a firefight, and they're like kind of like this big opening, and there's like this one walkway, the only way they can get there. And he was on the left, and he was hiding behind a crate, and they didn't know he was there. And I was on the right side. I'm fighting these 2 guys, and when your shield gets broke, they get like a cue on their end. They know like my shields are broke. And so he's like, dude, let them break your shield on purpose and then hide like you're healing. And they're probably going to push you and they're going to run right past me because they don't know I'm there. And then they're going to be between us and we can just light them up. And so that's what I did. It was kind of funny. I actually let them break my shield on purpose. So I hid behind the wall and I start popping my shield battery. So it's like recharging my shield. And all of a sudden you can hear the steps of them both running at me, running down this little narrow walkway. They run right past my buddy. He just steps out behind him and just starts lighting up, drops one immediately. I jump back out. Now I have a full shield. Drop the other guy. They completely fell for it. It's kind of satisfying, But that's a game when you're playing in voice. Like, I don't like playing ranked if I'm not with somebody like with him. He's a little higher ranked than I am, but being in the game with him in voice, it makes a big difference. Like if I play with randoms,
Oh yeah.
you get this one guy that just runs off and wants to do his own thing. You're like,
Mhm.
oh, let's all go left. Go into the zone because you have an area where the zone's going to shrink to, and you're like, you want to go in there and you want to hold that zone, and so we all go that way. Except you have one guy on your team, he goes hard right. It's like there's no zone over there. It's like, what are you doing going over there? There's no point going over there. And that guy will go over there and be like, oh, let me take on all 3 people by myself and just die in 30 seconds. Then becomes a 2-on-3. And those can be annoying when you're playing ranked because then you're pretty much screwed. So at least if you're playing with somebody in a party, you kind of work together a lot better. But that's my Apex stuff. I did try that Super People Jesus. Like you said, that game is straight up PUBG. It was okay. Like I didn't go back to it. Once I set it up, I gave it a quick run. I thought it looked really good. It looks better than PUBG. It plays really well. It feels like a knockoff of PUBG. And I don't know what kind of player count that it has right now or anything like that, but it kind of felt, like PUBG. Maybe they're just trying to steal some of their people or whatever or not, but
PUBG
besides that, I started to play Psychonauts 2 today since I have my TV still hooked up and I'm kind of just chilling. I thought I'd hook that up to the TV and I started playing that, but I'm still I just finished the first section.
That's another game I got to go back to. I'm halfway through it and I got to finish it off. I really like that game. It was fun.
The first level I did, the demo level, they kind of changed the gravity a couple of times and this and that, and it was fun.
Yeah, and every level is different. It changes. Everything changes. Every mind you go into is different, right? It's really cool. And then you're collecting all the what are they called again? Oh God, I wish I could remember.
They had the little images. They were like neon. I can't remember what they were called.
What they were. It was clever though. What the heck was it?
Because some of the bad guys, even when they were clever, they were like regret and stuff like that. It's like the bad guys called regret.
Yeah, the whole game's about your mind and mental health and stuff like that, right? It's very it's very well done. I think that game in particular is very underrated by a lot of people.
I think it's because of that cartoon kiddish feel to it. I feel
it's supposed to feel like a kid's game, but it's not. It's it's very serious, it's.
I think that's what hurts sometimes. Like when I play it, I feel it feels like a kid's game, but I know it's not.
Yeah,
it feels like something I should
3D
be playing on my Switch.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
but besides that, I'm trying to think. There was some other stuff I played back before COVID when we had that little break there, but. Can't really remember what it was anymore off the top of my head. There's Ryan. I think I put this in our chat. Inscription.
Oh yeah.
So I played the demo of this on Steam, and I thought it was just merely okay. This is a card game. Kind of they call it a horror card game.
Yeah.
But my son ended up picking it up, and he Steam shares with me, so he started playing on my account. And again, I had no interest for so in it. I thought the game was okay, but I didn't really feel like a card game. And this game actually got really deep. As he was playing it here at my place, it got really neat. It actually has some neat things. But later on, when he beat the game, it does some stuff like some old. I remember Jesus mentioned some games that have done stuff like this, but it goes through some of your computer files, and what it did. It went through his Steam friends, and it turned his Steam friends into cards and was using them against them. So a couple. Actually, he's friends with Ghost Nico and a couple other guys from the community. They were cards on his game, and the computer was using them against him.
Have you finished it yet? Have you finished it yet?
He finished it. I have not.
Okay, because it does some wacky stuff, man.
Yeah, so then later on, he was telling me how the game will ask you about a save file. He's like, pick your
biggest save file or something like that.
Your biggest save file,
and the bigger the save file, the better the card is.
Yeah, and he turns it into a card. Well, then later on, he's like, pick your most important file.
Yeah.
And so my son's on my computer. He picked a file, and then he goes, "Well, if you lose, I'm going to delete that file."
Yep.
And you're like, Oh,
What?
he's like, well, don't worry, Dad, I didn't lose. He's like, I don't think it would let you lose, but
It
but
doesn't.
it does stuff.
It doesn't actually delete your file,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
I
it
figured it
gives
probably
you the
wouldn't.
threat and it scares you. It makes you think, "Oh shit!
But
Maybe I shouldn't
so
have picked that file."
but the game is kind of neat. Like, so it does some different stuff. You know, it kind of has different feel the first time you play it through.
Yeah.
Then when you beat that, I can't remember if it's just the first person you beat or not. Because like I said, I was kind of watching through him. And then the second time once you find that floppy disk, it did like a full motion video kind of thing, like that old school like sewer shark.
It changes the different genres and
To like an old floppy disk version of the game, and then he beat it in the future version. And so now, but like, so I wanted to pick it up and play it off his account, you know, because he Steam shares with me. But since he played it on my PC, it keeps his save file on my PC. So when I launched the game, I'm like where he's at, and I have like no idea what's going on. So I can do like a new run, and it would just kind of reset his, you know, like at one point. So I'm like, I didn't want to do that, but I tried to delete his profile stuff off on my PC and try and launch my own, and it still launched into it. But he's running some kind of mod now too. There's like a mod you can get on the PC version, and it changes the game a little bit too. It doesn't like hack it or anything like that. You know, you think of mods, sometimes you think about hacking and changing the game a lot. It adds some kind of new element to the gameplay. And it asked me about picking card decks at the beginning and this and that. And so I was right off the rip going, I don't know what's going on here. I'm not going to dive into it too much without, you know, so I don't delete his stuff because he plays it when he's here. And so, but it seemed like a game that you would enjoy, Ryan, because I know you like your card games. And it's kind of neat how you have to like put down a card to sacrifice to get a better card.
Yeah.
And then later on, I guess there's like this thing where you can like feed it to this worm. And it like changes. You know what I'm talking about? Like it makes it stronger, and then it doesn't have like I guess there's different ways in this game you can make it.
I've heard a lot about this game, and
there's like hidden rooms. There's so many different things you can do, and I guess you can like make like a custom card.
Yeah,
you can take a card that does like an air attack. You can blend it in with a card that does like a ground attack or different things, and you can start making your own cards, which is kind of neat. And it really made me want to play the game, but like I said, I didn't want to mess up his account, so I didn't dive too deep into it. But he was really into it for a couple of days.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that game was like, you know, a pretty fun game to go through. Like just the things that it just screws with your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it really kind of messes with your head playing through it.
Yeah, and he was playing through it and telling me some different things that he ran across, but.
Yeah.
But, you know, the art style, it's kind of neat because the art style changes. Yeah. The layout of the game kind of changes. And next thing I know, it's like a top-down view, you know?
Yeah.
Then you're doing like a regular card view.
Reminds me of like Nier Automata.
Yeah, it does.
You know, how that kept changing genres and being different games and stuff like that for each level. It's kind of the same as Psychonauts, how everything's different. Yeah. It's weird. We're talking about all these games that are very similar to
I did see this game
gameplay, but in like the way the design is, right?
Like this is like an award-winning game for the year. I've seen it nominated for different stuff for the year and stuff. So like, and it's only a $15 game on Steam, so it's not an expensive game. I'm not sure if it's on console or not. I didn't dive into it, but it just a simple game on PC, a lot of fun. You know, I don't know what kind of team made this game or anything like that, but it's a big team or a small team. But they seem like they did a good job.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. What about you, Ryan?
Oh, let's see. What have I been playing? I finished Halo. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really good. I'm surprised.
That's another one I feel like I should start playing, even though I haven't played the other ones. I feel like I should play it.
Yeah, with everything that went on with that game, I was really weary of whether it was actually going to be good. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be, you know, a really good campaign, and I played through it and I'm like, you know what? That was a really good campaign. Like it's not going to knock your socks off. It's a Halo game. Like it's Halo. It's still Halo. It's got some new stuff in it, but it's still very much, you know, a Halo game. With tweaks that make it feel a little more next gen-y and, you know, feel a little quicker. Moving around is a lot better with that grappling hook. Like you could pretty much Spider-Man through Halo. You know, like it's crazy. Once you get it upgraded, you got to upgrade it so that it fires more often, and then you could Spider-Man along the side of a cliff. It's really crazy.
I heard like the first like 3 hours is kind of linear, right? And then it kind of opens up and it becomes open world. I've heard both. I've heard like,
it's never actually open world.
Like really, big open world. It's kind of
it's a very small map compared to like any other open world. You know what I mean? But everything is kind of condensed into this little section, and you can only play that little section, and then you'll have to like fly off to another section of the map. So the map is kind of, the levels are kind of set up in sections. You can go anywhere you want, really, but it's not a very big map. And then there'll be like cut off sections where you can't get across, even with your grappling hook. You can't get across until you open a bridge. And that whole map is not as big as like most open worlds are. You know what I mean? In comparison. I don't think they ever should have really said that it was open world. Because I get where they're going. Like, I get why they're saying, like, oh, it's more open. It is more open. It's not as linear as a regular, any other Halo game that's come out. But it's not an open world,
So it's not your Far Cry open world. You can run around and do whatever you want. But
no, exactly. It's a much smaller, condensed. It almost feels more like
Crisis 2.
The size of a map of like Crackdown. You know what I mean? Like it's but no, maybe it's a little bigger than that. But anyways, it's a smaller map, and you jump from section to section. You don't really, you can't really walk from one end of the map to the other. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You can't.
But it was still really.
You can't just jump in a warthog and just drive across wherever you want and just run into some kind of random encounter.
You can, but it's a much smaller area than you're used to in like an open world game where it's like you could just wander forever and yeah, but it's good. I enjoyed Halo. You guys should play it. I'm surprised you haven't yet, Jesus. I know you said you didn't care for it, but what? I still think you should play it.
I've played it a little bit.
The campaign,
or
just multiplayer, yeah,
campaign.
And it's not catching you?
It's okay.
Are you playing it on the S or on the PC?
Both,
yeah. But I feel like you'd probably do better on the PC. You'd probably feel better to you.
Yeah. No, I should go back to it. It's just I haven't gone back to it.
You like that whole Cortana story and shit, man. That's what this is all about, kind of.
Yeah, she's all nice now and shit. Like, what the fuck is this?
Well, because that's not Cortana.
Yeah, it's a different.
But I don't want to say more than that if you're gonna play it.
It's an AI, all right. It's the AI in my head, and
it's an AI called the weapon.
It's always Cortana to me, all right. God damn it, you.
Yeah. What else have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon lately. The game's gorgeous. I don't know. I can't say anything that you don't already know and people haven't already said about that game. It looks really good. It plays really good. I've been doing a lot of dirt races because I found that I had a lot more fun playing the dirt races. So I've just been going through trying to finish all the dirt, and I've had a lot of fun. I got a decent car. I was driving the Warthog for a long time. And I was doing pretty good. And then I got, believe it or not, a Ford Escort, but it's like the rally version.
The rally car, yeah.
Yeah. And I love that car. It handles really good, and it's got some good power. And I was winning races with it, so I was like, all right, I'll just keep using this car. But yeah, it's fun. There's a lot. The menus. I think I said this last time I was on here. The menus in that game. So many fucking menus.
There's a menu for your house.
There's a menu that goes into a menu that goes into a menu that goes into another menu that has 5 tabs and 6 tabs and 7 tabs.
Probably my only biggest complaint about the game. Sometimes you don't feel like you know what's going on. Sometimes,
you don't.
Like some of the. Not the Forza things, but like they're like, oh, well, this season thing you can unlock this, and like I know there's like I think, like on Forza 4, I had the same problem with 4. There's like special like say seasons, and then there's like certain cars you can unlock in the seasons, but you had to do certain things to do them, and it was never real clear on like what you really had to do, and I was too casual of a player to get engaged in it.
Yeah.
To where like I feel like the same thing is in this one. It's like they have these cool features in there, and I don't use them because I don't play it consistently enough.
Yeah.
But I feel lost in it. I'm like, well, I don't get it. What am I supposed to be doing there? You know?
This is what I do now. I go in. This is like what I've been doing with Forza. So, go in and pick what races you enjoy. Go into the map and uncheck everything else on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick one set of races that you want to do. Put those races on the map and go and do them.
That's what I would do on 4. I haven't played as much as 5, but I played a lot of 4, and that's what I would do. Like all the like the street race ones, or like the actual the country ones, I think they called it, or something like that. I would just, I think they had a shortcut. Like you hit the one bumper and it unchecks everything.
Yeah,
and then it'd be like, okay, I only want these kind of races, and whatever tailored to whatever car I had, I was enjoying at that time. I would just hunt those races down. I'd drive from race to race to race, or sometimes I get bored and shortcut to it, and spend the credits when I had so much money on hand and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's just the one thing. My only complaint about the Forza game was, like you said, the menus, and not sometimes those Forza-thon things. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I remember on 4, I ended up paying a ton of money. They had the new Corvette on there when they first announced the new C8 Corvette, which I love that car. It's a really awesome looking car, I think. They put it in the game right away. But it was a seasonal event car, and you had to do something special. You had to do all these special things, I think, to unlock it. I just bought it in the auction house, and it was like a crazy amount of money in game. I'm like, I got the money. I just bought it in there, so I didn't even have to earn it. But I was lost. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to earn this thing. And I think it was like a limited time you can only get it even on that on Forza 4, where it's just in 5, But so stuff like that's what is probably the biggest deterrent. Like I still have yet to play the Battle Royale mode on the new one.
Fun. It's fun. Yeah, I played that a couple of times now, and it's pretty fun. But I mean, you start off with like a crappy car, and you have to work your way up. But there's drops on the map, and you can pick up cars.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Yeah, I didn't make it too far, but it was pretty fun. I thought it was a cool idea. Like, it's definitely interesting. I know that was in 4 too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never really played it. What else have I played? I played Paw Patrol.
Game of the year, right?
Yeah, no, Paw Patrol. What the hell is it? The Adventure Day one.
Peppa the Pig was the game of the year.
Yeah, Peppa the Pig was game of the year. Yeah, my friend Peppa. No, so yeah, I just playing games with my daughter. It's Paw Patrol. She likes Paw Patrol. She doesn't really play it too much.
Yeah, I saw your little Facebook post where she put the controller in your head. She said you were like a desk or
I was her table. I was her controller table. She goes, "You hold my controller now, Daddy." Yeah.
I was impressed you were just balancing it up there okay like that.
Yeah, she did it. She put it up there too, yeah. I was obviously staying still so it wouldn't fall off. But
right.
Yeah, she put it up there and it stayed. What else have I played? I started another game that I'm playing with my daughter is Wobbly Life. Have you ever seen Wobbly Life before?
No, never even heard of it.
No, it's on PC. It's on Xbox. It's kind of like Aquadad, kind of controls where you control your arms with the triggers. So when you want to grab something, you gotta reach out and grab it. There's all kinds of missions all around the city. And you'll have to go deliver pizzas. So you got to pick up the pizzas from the pizza store and put them in the back of the car. And then you have to drive carefully because if you go over too many bumps, the pizzas will come flying out of the car. And you got to deliver the pizzas, right? Or there's ones you go work for the firefighters and you have to be a firefighter. You drive this fire engine around and you got to go to the fires and put all the fires out. And it's just stupid. Olivia just laughs. My daughter's just constantly laughing at all the stupid stuff that's happening on the screen. So I have fun playing that with her. And I actually got that from watching the guy I was talking about earlier. He plays it on his gaming channel sometimes. And that's where I started. She saw it originally, and I just saw how much she laughed at it and thought, all right, I'll buy that game. It was $20 on Xbox. So
right.
But yeah, it's a stupid, funny game. I think like it's popular with some streamers, like more kid geared streamers. You know what I mean? But yeah, what else have I played? I've like you guys had already talked about Guardians. I've been playing a little bit of that. I need to get back into it.
Hey, Jesus, speaking of Guardians, just real quick, does that have haptic feedback on the PlayStation version?
Yes.
I don't. Oh,
nice. What is it? Is it just like the shooting? Like when you
the shooting.
I know you run out.
I think it's the shooting and like when the ship rumbles and shit, or like the explosions happen and shit.
Yeah, because I know when you run out, it gives that little reload. Have you get to that part where you have to hit, you have to hit the trigger, and you have to hit the trigger. There's a lot of games that do it. It's nothing new.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's like Gears of War cooldown. It doesn't lock up. It doesn't. The only game that I've seen do that, from what I've heard, is Call of Duty and Deathloop.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need to get back into that.
Deathloop did it really well. Deathloop, like I said, that trigger locks up where it kind of feels empty.
Oh, really? So you can't pull the trigger at all if you if you're reload or whatever.
Or the gun jams, right?
No, the gun jams sometimes. Yeah, so the gun jams you can't pull the trigger, but when the gun is empty, the trigger goes all the way down and it just clicks. It's like click, 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 like click. It's empty, like what the fuck?
You can feel it clicking.
Yeah, you can feel it.
That's cool.
Another cool feature that the PlayStation controller has is, of course, they brought back the speaker from before, and the speaker is really cool because when Rocket is like away from you, he talks to the radio and it comes to the controller.
I don't like that. I'll try it with mine and see if it supports, because I had the PS5 controller on my PC,
and it sounds like a walkie-talkie. Yeah. So
can you turn it off though? Can you turn it off though?
Yeah, you can. You can always turn it off. Those are always an option to turn off in games. Even the haptic feedbacks. Feedbacks are always an ability to turn off.
If I'm playing with a headset on,
right?
Well, that's the beauty.
My daughter's sleeping. You know what I mean? I don't want my controller screaming.
No. That's the beauty about the PS5. It automatically, every time you're playing it with the headset, it automatically puts everything to the headset.
Yeah.
Now, see, even if you have it on the PC, so like I remember one of my games, I think it was Deathloop, or one of them it started coming through. The audio started coming through that little speaker on the controller, and it was only select things. But like I had my headphones on, I didn't even notice it until later on. I'm like, oh shit, it's got audio coming out of here, and I didn't even notice. And it was like that whole. I think it was on Deathloop where she was talking to me remotely. Yeah. Where all my other audio was coming through my headphones on the PC, so it's not probably completely optimized for the PC, But
no, I'm
doing that. And the only other annoying thing is when I do plug in my PlayStation controller and I have Discord open, right away Discord's like, "Oh, you have a new microphone and audio. Do you want to switch?" And I'm like, "No, damn it, just quit it." So every time I plug in my controller,
I've never done that on the PC. I've never used my PS controller, but. Those are cool features in my opinion of the controller of the PS5. Like I wish at times that Xbox would add a speaker to their controller. Like that's a cool little feature.
Like Nintendo has pretty much had that for the longest time, right? Didn't the Switch release have a speaker in it?
The Wii. I remember the Wii did.
The Wii had one. Yeah. Yeah. But like I kind of like wish that Xbox would have that. Now the microphone, it's give or take. I mean, it kind of ensures that everyone on your platform has a way to talk to people. But
it's just
but
I don't really ever use it though.
Right.
I don't know. Microphone I don't care about, speaker I don't care about. I would like to see them do the trigger stuff. That would be cool.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to derail you other Gibbs. I just it jumped in my mind right away. I'm like, you know what? I gotta ask him about that because since he's playing it on PS5 and I played it on PC.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if it was worth changing and trying it with my controller once.
Gave me a second to remember what I've been playing. So the Gunk, I've been playing a lot of that too. I gotta be. I'm pretty close to the end.
That's like a 4-hour game, right? So
yeah, it's really short, but I've been playing it for a long time. I got lost for a while, and I was trying to figure something out. I had to look it up on the YTs.
The YT
bids. Yeah, because I just missed something. Like there was just this little section that I didn't see, and and I had to clear out, and like I just couldn't find it, and I ended up watching the video, and I was like, oh, and then I finally figured it out, and then I just kept moving on. So, but I'm pretty close to the end. The game's all right. It's okay. It's not. You know, a lot of people get bored with it. It's like just kind of easy puzzle solving and sucking up some gunk and cleaning things up.
Cool. Anything else?
It was okay. I'm trying to think. No, I think that's it.
All right. Now. Well, let's go to news. It's news time. Big news this week, ladies and gentlemen. Big fucking news. Biggest news today. Breaking news. Take-Two is planning to acquire mobile game giant Zynga Games for $12.7 billion. Now, this is a mixture of cash and stock options.
Only a little bit of money.
Only a little bit.
Wait,
no. What? This
What?
is a mixture of stock options and money. What are you talking about?
Take-Two, you said?
Yeah, Take-Two.
Buying Zynga?
Yeah.
Yes.
They've said, CEO said that they are planning to bring PC and console games to the mobile platforms, that they see a direction of the future going that way, so they're planning ahead. They're going to acquire them for $12.7 billion. As you may know or you may not know, Take-Two already owns Rockstar Games, they own Codemasters, and they own 2K Productions and 2K Developer.
This is a bad idea.
Rockstar obviously makes Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, BioShock. Zynga, they are mostly well known for Farmville, which is one of the largest mobile games in the world. Word with Friends and CRS Gaming is one of their biggest games.
They haven't put anything out in forever.
Yeah.
Like in forever.
They could put out Grand Theft Auto. No.
Well, no. I'm talking Zynga. Not,
yeah, I know, but they may, since they take them over though, they can put out GTA.
Oh, they could put out mobile GTA games. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't.
This is a lot of money. $12 billion.
That's a lot of money for.
It just goes to show how much money is in the mobile market. Like, you know, you hear about like PUBG, like the mobile version makes millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Well,
Candy
dude,
Crush is like one of the top selling games of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I play a game. I play a mobile game called Frag Pro Shooter, and the amount of microtransactions in that game, like, it's insane. You could spend thousands of dollars if you wanted to buy everything. Like, literally, like, and it's every day. It renews, and then you're spending more. You know what I mean? And people do it. Like, I see people. I'm like, how the hell is this guy level 16? There's no way in hell he has every character level 16. You know what I mean? Like, without spending a crap load of money.
Right.
I've been playing this game since it came out, and I'm not, like, I'm level 12, I think. You know, that's after 5 years of playing, and I only buy the monthly battle pass thing. Like, that gives me the extra rewards from the battle pass. That's all I do, and that's like $13.99 a month. But there's so many microtransactions in the game. It's ridiculous. And I guess, you know, people with more money than brains, they just buy everything. That's how these companies make their money. It's really...
This will partly make Take-Two one of the largest video game publishers in the world. It also comes to say, I mean, you may say that Zynga doesn't have any games. For last year, their quarter revenue, or their yearly revenue that they were reporting at quarter 3 of last year, was at $2.7 billion. They reported 183 million active daily users. And these are Zynga numbers. So they have 120% increase of daily users from the same time in the year 2021 of the year 2020. And also, they have a loss of only $42 million, and they forecasted a loss of $110 million. So actually, they lost a lot less money this year than they thought they were going to. So their revenues are up quite a bit. Also, they say that they plan to make a lot of money this year because they plan to launch Farmville 3, which is the latest update and the latest version of Farmville, and a new Harry Potter mobile game, and some other fucking game. I forget what other game it was.
So Farmville, which I mean, I guess it makes money. People still play that. I don't know. I guess so.
Also,
if they're making money, then
another
people must
game,
play it.
Star Wars Hunters. They're planning to launch that this year.
Okay, yeah. Do you know how many Star Wars games, the mobile Star Wars games there are?
You know who owns them all? Zynga, motherfucker.
No. I don't know, man.
I think it's a great move. Good job, 2K.
Think
Spend all your
really?
money.
Yes. Yeah.
In terms of money, it is a fucking smart move.
Well, if they're making $2 billion a year, it's going to take them 6 years to make back what they spent on it. That's
Maybe.
if they stay at the same,
rate.
At the same rate as they're making now, right? But they'll probably go up. I'm assuming. But I feel like Zynga's like who talks about that stuff? You know what I mean? Like nobody's talking about that.
But it seems like they all make money, but nobody talks about them. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
It's like
all these mobile
I don't
companies,
understand. Like
you
nobody
hear all this stuff with like Tencent, where like these China companies, this China game is reeling in this much money, and you're like.
And I go to my mobile store and try and find a new mobile game to play because like all I play is Frag. That's all I play. I don't play anything else. No other mobile games at all. Frag's the only game I play. Yeah. And I try to find something else that and it's all garbage. It's all such garbage that just wants you to spend money over and over again. Yep. Like none of these games are even fun. Like they're not any good.
Yeah.
So I
think too, it's worldwide and it seems like it's bigger in other countries than it is here. I mean,
maybe
it's somewhat popular here, but I think it's bigger in other countries.
Well, and it's big with kids. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of that stuff is a lot more simplistic. You know what I mean? It's easier to like, it's just tapping, right? Like, God, some of the games are just tap the screen over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, just keep tapping that screen. You get more stuff. Hey, tap some more.
Get more stuff. It's gonna be for the older people, so Gunny can play it in one more year. We'll give him one more year, and we'll put him on the mobile corner, the Gunny's mobile corner. He'll be playing the slot machine games on his phone.
Yeah,
we'll give him one more.
A lot of casino games, lots of casino games, right? Yeah.
No, let me tell you the first game they're gonna announce when they acquire this company. GTA Online Mobile.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Boom.
Maybe,
that's all they need to do. Do you know that this year, or last year, in February of last year, Take-Two said in their earnings call, Mayo, that Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto Online had the most active players in February of 2021 than they ever had since the game launched online.
Isn't that crazy? This game is so old, and every year it's like the top revenue game. It's like this.
They had the most active players that month than since launch. Since fucking launch.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy that game has crossed 3 generations of consoles.
It's like Skyrim.
Generations.
Doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. Yeah.
I don't even think I honestly I don't think they'll ever release, as much as everyone thinks it's coming. I don't think they'll ever release Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't think so either. They're making too much money. They don't need to.
Or they'll just release Grand Theft Auto 6 as a campaign.
Or that is,
it's just a campaign. I think $40 here, have a campaign, and it'll add on to GTA Online. You know what I mean?
I feel like
that's
they kind of
ends up happening.
I don't know if they watched Fortnite, but you know like how Fortnite always evolves. It's the same game, but it's always changing. I think they know they can do that with GTA. Yeah. So why make a new one? We can just keep adding to the world we got. It's it's like an omniverse.
Think about this.
Way.
Maybe
it's a world
this is how it works.
And they can do whatever they want there.
GTA 6 comes out with a new campaign and two new little islands that get added on to GTA Online.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Where it's like this part of the map is just off the this part of the map. You know what I mean?
Kind of like an MMO approach.
Yeah.
Like you could do an expansion on MMO.
And
like
then
say you're playing WoW, an expansion.
And then each campaign game that comes out adds a new expansion to the world of GTA Online.
Because you think of WoW is the same way. WoW is a base
Call me,
game.
Take Two, Rockstar. Give me a call. Give me a call, Rockstar, if you're listening.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, they've also said that they're interested in NFTs, and terms of NFTs, they said that they're interested in selling NFTs to gamers, as well as having gamers game to earn NFTs in their games.
Everybody is interested in NFTs right now
because it's crazy. It's bullshit.
I can't wait for it to just die.
3 years from now, it's going to be so dead. It's going to be like Beanie Babies. That shit's nothing, dude. Watch.
And you're hearing, you guys reported on it last week. There was somebody doing it, and it's in our news again this week. And I've heard it from other things, and it's just
it's all over
all the major game, publishers, that
it started with art, how they want to do it, and then everything that's art now is trying to do the same thing, and now it's video games are art, and they're trying to do this. I don't know. NFTs. It's stupid. It's so stupid. What do you own? You own a little piece. You own a little piece of something that isn't worth shit. You got to hope that it's worth something in the future.
Right.
It's probably not going to be worth shit in the future.
Listen, man.
Don't waste your fucking money.
Listen, man. Art. The beauty is in the beholder. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
If you think listen, I'm gonna
going into this buying NFTs.
You know what?
Because they like what they have. They're buying fucking little monkeys and fucking stupid shit so they can get into stupid.
I was gonna make this podcast, today's podcast, an NFT and give it to Gunny as a birthday gift. But now you're saying my gift is worth nothing. What are you saying? It's worth like $10 million.
I'm saying if it's worth anything in the future, you will be lucky. But it's probably.
I'm giving it to Gunny. Gunny, it's going to be worth a lot in the future. Don't listen to Ryan. This is your NFT. This is your gift. This podcast just today only, though.
I mean, I feel like
is it the HGP logo?
No. It's just this podcast. The audio of this podcast is going to be Gunny.
This podcast is going to be an NFT.
This is going to be an NFT, and we're going to give it to Gunny. Gunny owns this podcast now.
Gunny owns it. Okay.
And I don't know, I don't know completely
which episode is it again?
I'm
380.
Last week. Yeah.
380. Gunny owns episode 380 NFT.
Gunny's NFT
edition.
Yeah, so I'm not sure completely again, like how you were talking last week, how it's going to work 100%. I kind of had an idea last week, and it kind of something popped in my mind. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like this, but I can't remember what that was now. But it just seems so weird to me, and I think it's not going to affect maybe us as much as it will these people in investing. This is for the rich people who have all this money they can just put into an item and want to own it. And I think maybe we'll still have access to it, but that person's going to have almost like
the hard copy of it.
Yeah, and then he's going to be able to resell it maybe and an investor or hold on to it as like a collector item for a while.
I don't see it as being able to sell it. You can't sell.
You can. You can.
Yeah, I think you will be able to.
You can transfer the ownership to somebody and sell it.
Right, and then you'll sell it.
But I mean, I don't think you can copy it and sell it.
No, yeah, you won't be able to copy it.
You can't copy it, no.
No, but you know what I mean? Like sell copies of it.
I think this is all going to be money that we don't have.
That's the point of the NFT is to not have copies of it.
Yeah.
I think this is just to get more funding into games.
I want to buy this NFT, Mayo. This looks like a cool cat wearing a gas mask.
Oh my God.
It costs $1,000 right now, Mayo. It's on sale, Mayo, for the next 23 hours.
$1,000
on OpenSea. $1,000.
Where do we use
look at this.
Oh, is it going to be cool clubs we can get into, Jesus?
Oh,
and take this cat with a hat or whatever and get this cool club or we, do we got to go to Portland to do this? Do I have to fly out and see you so we can go,
Listen, bro, I'm not going to talk to you unless you have a cool cat with the gas mask as your profile picture.
So if I pay for half of this coin, right, and then you have it on your phone and can we both get into the club?
No, only I'm going to own the NFT, man.
You're like, damn it, Mayo, you can't go.
Look at this. Hold on. This is a plot. This is a plot of land in the Critters metaverse in Minecraft.
Oh my
And
god.
this costs $800 right now. This is a sale, Mayo. $800, bro. Just buy it. We're gonna own this plot of land in Minecraft. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how this stuff works.
So I wonder what you hear the pyramid scheme and stuff like that too. So I wonder if like even like okay, so you buy like you use Fortnite the banana skin. You buy that banana skin. So maybe every time somebody buys that online, you might get a little piece of the royalties of that. You know what I mean? Like
maybe.
The game company might get some money out of it, but you might get like 10% for every time it sells.
Yeah, do you know what else is on sale? Holy fuck.
Where?
Domain names. Domain names are on sale.
God.
Stadia Podcast is going to be an NFT. I'm going to sell that shit right now. Hold on. I think I still own that. These are in.
How do you look that up?
Go to OpenSea. OpenSea is the website.
OpenSea.com?
Yeah. Or just Google OpenSea, like Open SEA. OpenSea.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you see all the NFTs in there. Yeah.
I never even. I just want to explore. I don't want to create.
Yeah, you want to buy some? Yeah, come on, buy some.
Yeah.
Next
time I'm gonna have
I want to see how good
broke.
Oh no, trust me, I'm already broke.
2 weeks from now, hey guys, I got no money. I'm homeless. I spent all my money on them NFTs.
No. What is this garbage?
It's NFTs, bro. What do you mean? What is this garbage? I'm showing you the future.
By the way, top collections of the last 7 days. This Fanta Bear is up 465.85%.
Where buy that fucker?
The one below it is the Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah, that's the one.
30%. It dropped 30%.
Oh
Jesus.
wow, it's on sale. Then let's get it. Let's get in while we can.
Oh man, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Oh my god, this is so stupid.
That gets you into Hollywood parties, bro.
Why are people spending money?
Dude, you see the price of this shit? $616,000. Yeah.
What?
Welcome back to the NFT podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We're Mayo and Jesus and the host, guest. We all decide to go to OpenSea and look at NFTs for the next 30 minutes.
What is happening? Why are people doing this?
Because they're cool. Yeah.
Is it what?
Because they think it's the next Bitcoin, really. I mean, let's get down to it. They think it's the next Bitcoin. They can invest in it.
Mayo, should we buy into this, Mayo? Should we buy in right now while we can?
I can't really afford right now to buy into any of that stuff. That's crazy.
Come on, Mayo. There's some for like $200 right now, bro.
Activity.
Look, if you go to the new ones, as soon as they go up, they're like $100, $200. This one's $900. Okay, that's a little pricey, but
$301,981.
This one's look how much is this one? This just
why
went up.
Are people? Why?
And you think, Ryan, you can't even show like you have ownership of it. You can't even show it off. Like you can't drive it. You can't do anything.
$406,000.
Listen, this
Bored
one,
Ape.
$300, Mayo. Let's buy it.
He's got lasers shooting out of his eyes.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioned that one last week.
What is happening? Why are people doing this? What? I don't understand.
All I'm saying
Personally, Jesus, I think you should just start saving your money now and buy PSVR 2. Can get back on
Speaking of PSVR 2, Sony has announced PlayStation VR 2, an exclusive Horizon VR game. That's right.
Really?
The new PSVR 2 will feature, Mayo, a 4K HDR OLED screen with a 2000 by 2040 resolution. This is each
So are they saying
screen-
it's 4K with the two lenses together? Since the lenses are 20 by 2040?
Yeah.
Or 2000 by 2040?
Yeah.
So they're just adding both lenses together and saying...
Well, it's
so
per
am I
eye, right?
running? So if I run on two monitors to kind of add the resolutions together,
No, because it's not in your
The
eyeballs.
same-
All right, listen.
well, isn't it the same thing?
This is
Can't
going to
I run
have
two
a
monitors in front of me
90
and have the same game on both and same
No,
time
no,
running
god
resolution?
damn it. I'm telling you no. No. It's going to have a 90 by 120 frame rate. That's right. So it's going to have to be up to 120 hertz.
Nice.
This PSVR will have a sense technology which combines eye tracking, headset feedback, 3D audio, and the brand new PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller for added immersion. That's right. You're going to have 110 degrees of field of view. You're going to have 4 cameras for the headset and controller tracking. There's going to be an IR camera as well for eye tracking for each eyeball. The controllers will have 6-axis motion sensing, which is the same motion sensors that were in the PlayStation 3 controllers. This is going to have 3-axis gyroscope, 3-axis accelerometer. They're also going to have an IR proximity sensor in them. There's going to be vibration on the headset, so there will be vibration feedback on your headset. The connection will be USB Type-C. These will be wired headsets. That is the thing that they said. They're not wireless. There's still one wire connected to the console. They have a built-in microphone with the stereo headphone jack. So yeah, these will come with the new PSVR Sense controllers, and these will feature trigger effects on both the L2 and R2 buttons, 6-axis motion sensing, and finger touch detection. That's right. That's right. So there's that. Also,
what do you think of the price, Jesus?
I'm thinking 400.
I know. Well, what did the original PS release at?
300.
PSVR 300. So that sounds like a reasonable price. I was getting ready to say I got a feeling it's gonna be about the same price as the digital PlayStation, which is 400. Yeah. So that's right where I was thinking too. I'm
thinking maybe if they want to be competitive with the Quest or whatever, they may go 300. Just lose money.
Yeah, the Quest is what, $299 for the small one, right? Isn't the bigger hard drive one a little more expensive?
Yeah, they might lose money for a little bit. Say go 300, but I don't think they're going to go lower than that.
I wonder how. Do you know how PSVR sales were? Like, did they do well with it overall? Because I feel like the people that bought the PSVR are probably going to be the ones that buy the PSVR 2, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how, I mean, unless they can really push it, unless they get some really good knockout game for it, it's like everybody wants to play. Like, they did mention, isn't there mention that the exclusive Horizon VR game, if that's something cool, like an actual full-fledged game and not just some kind of tack-on thing, to maybe drive people to buy it, I could see something like that pushing it.
So they really need better
than Astrobot to push it.
As of last January, they said that they have reached over 5 million in sales of the PlayStation VR.
All right, so let's say they maybe sell 6 or 7 million then probably.
Listen, 5 million of 100 and whatever million units that they sold of a PS4 is fucking diddly squat. VR is not going to this. I don't know. VR's not. It's just dead.
Listen,
dead.
you damn fucking boomer. You fucking boomer.
Since the beginning. Do you not remember?
Yeah, listen, you goddamn boomer. First you're dogging on my NFT monkey, and now you're dogging on my fucking PSVR.
Now he's going to kill our VR, isn't he?
I'm still sitting here looking at NFTs. Jesus,
God
you
damn
fucking
it,
asshole! You got me looking at this shit. I don't know why. I'm just looking at it and going,
"He's gonna buy one."
Stupid.
I'm telling you, he's gonna buy 10 of them.
No, I'm not getting anything.
He's going next week. He's either going to be really rich or really broke.
He's going to be like, guys, Jesus, I bought an NFT and now I'm a multi-millionaire thanks to you.
And I resold it and I made 10 times my money.
These people are selling a certificate of excellence. This award NFT is given to blah, blah, blah in recognition of outstanding work and dedication in organized events of the... What? Who buys? Who's gonna buy this shit?
And how much was it?
I don't know. It doesn't have a price.
They're all in Ether. They're all in Ether price because you could only buy these with Ethereum, that crypto Ethereum.
No, it doesn't. It says make an offer.
Oh, then you could just make an offer for it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Do it. Make an offer. $2. And you sell it for 10,000.
No, I don't have. Yeah, you're right. It has to be crypto.
Yeah.
It's asking me for MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet Connect.
Tell them one crypto, whatever that is. I don't know.
It's all Ether.
Like $35,000 or something.
Right.
I feel like, it's all on that Ethereum or whatever.
0.0000000. Yeah, there's no price on that one for some reason.
Some are buy
The
only
other
or
ones
whatever, or make offers only.
Make offers, yeah.
In other news,
Some naked people here. What is going on?
in other news, Mayo, Razer has announced the new Enki Pro HyperSense. That is right. This is going to be a gaming chair with haptic feedback in the chair.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Another thing he's dogging on. Look at this damn boomer over here, just mad.
I
at
know.
everything.
He's like,
I thought you Canadians were supposed to be happy people.
Yeah. Well, we are, but we get unhappy when people are stupid.
I thought you were supposed to be happy peoples.
always.
Damn Canadians.
Not always. We have our moments.
Listen, Mayo, this is going to be a haptic feedback. All right, it's going to have eye-catching design. That's what they said. I mean, it looks just like a gaming chair to me, but apparently it vibrates and shit. It vibrates. It has a little holder for your VR headsets, and yeah.
I'll stick with my chair that I just bought not too long ago. This thing's actually pretty comfortable, and I'm very happy with it.
Also, we also got a new look at AMD's new processors. They have announced the 6000 series, Mayo. That's right. The 6000 series are coming, they said. That's all they said. We got 6000 series, and they're coming. All right, they're coming.
Was it a doubt, though? I mean, that's just kind of like the next step. That's like NVIDIA going, hey, guys, the new 4000 series graphics cards are coming out.
Damn it, Mayo. Come on, Mayo.
Well, yeah, they will, because they're next.
Razer Sapphire. Razer also announced a brand new mask. This is an update to their mask that they already came out with. This is
you can't find
the Sapphire Pro mask. So this is a little bit of an update to the last one, but this is going to run you about the same price as the last one. It's $150. There's no release date for it yet, but they say that is equivalent to an N95 mask in terms of like filtration or whatever the fuck that means. But apparently no medical team in the world wants to like certify it. So, or like no like actual like people that certify masks want to certify it. So like they cannot really say it's N95 certified, but Razer is saying that it is. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but no company that verifies PPE wants to do it. So there you go, Mel. I don't know if you want to wear this mask or not.
Yeah,
it has a cool voice changer.
The last one, and I didn't like seek it out, but
this thing has RGB on it, and it has a cool voice changer on it. You want to change your voicemail and look flashy while you're doing it?
Right, driving the Camaro.
I mean, I do, but
$150, Ryan.
Yeah, no.
You know what else you can buy $150? An NFT.
Yeah, no.
Dying Light 2. Apparently, it's going to take up to 500 hours to beat. Now, the developer has come out and said that 500 hours is the time to complete everything.
Everything, yeah.
They said that the main story will take about 20 hours to complete. The main story and the side missions will take about 60 hours to complete. And the main story, side missions, and everything, they said, I mean, they're talking like you explored every part of the map. There's no part of the map you haven't been to. And you explored every piece of dialogue in the game. That will take 500 hours to do.
What I would do right now, or I'd really thinking, Jesus, is buy the NFTC, whatever you want to call it, for the Platinum Award on the PlayStation for that thing, because not too many people are going to get that sucker.
Yeah, it's going to be rare shit.
Not too many people are going to plat that game. And then you can sell that sucker, because there's not going to be many Platinums on that game.
Do you know you can buy a picture of a country?
How much is America going for? How much is America going for? Let's buy it.
I don't know.
I'm gonna buy Canada.
After I saw that,
I'm gonna buy Canada and fucking own you, Ryan. I'm gonna buy Canada.
Oh my God. Okay. What else is in the news, Jesus?
Wow, look at this.
Canada, oh no.
Canada, and Where do you live in New Brunswick? What area do you live in? I'm gonna find the area.
Ontario, man.
Ontario. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for Ontario. Oh, there it is. Found it. I could buy Ontario for the current price is 1 penny, dude. I'm buying it right now.
Are you
no value.
It's 1 penny.
It's a picture. It's a picture of Canada. Why are you buying a picture of Canada?
I'm gonna own Canada, you son bitch. I'm gonna own where you live. And I'm gonna kick you out, Ryan. I'm here to kick out Ryan. I am the rightful owner of Ontario, Canada. Hey, buddy.
Has been deported.
I'm the rightful owner.
I'm gonna show up to. I'm gonna show to the Canadian border and argue with the Canadian Border Patrol to let me in.
Ontario, you let me in.
To let me in to Ontario because I now own it, and they're all fired. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, I'll see you when you get here.
Okay, thank you, Ryan. You better fucking leave, you bastard. You're the first one I'm kicking out.
You're gonna come up here, and then you're gonna be like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And then you're gonna find out I'm sitting in your house.
Oh shit!
We traded spaces, motherfucker.
Speaking of trading spaces, around 14,000 studios in China are trading spaces because they're being shut down amid an ongoing licensing freeze. That's right, Mayo. Remember how last week we were talking about no studios are getting new licenses? Well,
right.
It is estimated now that around 14,000 development studios in China have shut down since the country has issued a freeze on video game approvals. So yes, the National Press Publication Administration, the NPPA, has not published a list of approved new games since July 2021, or 2021, I mean. So yeah. They estimate...
Any big ones? Anything that we know of, like, is it all mainly mobile, or...
No, it's different companies in China, I'm assuming. They're saying that this is 14,000 is a rough estimate because there's really 18,000 gaming companies that shut down since this freeze has happened. And so this new freeze obviously follows the new limits that prohibit children from playing video games at all between Monday and Thursday, with Friday through Sunday, allowing 1 hour of gaming per day between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m., Ryan. All right? Some bet you 8 p.m. and 9 p.m., and that's it. That's all you get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Mayo. Then you go to fucking sleep, you little bastards. All right? It says here, China-based Tencent Corporation has now been doubling down on overseas investments. It says here, last year the company bought several Western studios, including Sumo Digital for a cool $1.3 billion, as well as a developer for Back 4 Blood, Turtle Rock. Anyways, whatever. In other news, moving on now. Let's move on to some more news.
Oh no!
This is more. This is another one. Square Enix.
This is more bad NFT news.
Says here, Square Enix is now saying that it hopes NFTs and blockchains become a major trend in video games. I'm pretty sure I spoke about this last week, but yes, they believe that they want to invest in NFTs.
Like all these other companies, like I said, all these other ones are saying, "Oh, we want to put in NFTs," and you see people complaining online, but you know it's coming. I mean, they're all talking about it. Oh, we might as well buckle up and get ready for it, because I don't think they kind of really care what we think, because that's why I think it's above us. I think it's, like they're going to sell to these expensive high bidders or whatever. And it hopefully doesn't affect us as gamers,
Yeah. In other news, Rainbow Six Extraction frame rates and resolutions have now been revealed for last gen and next gen consoles. For old generation consoles, they are aiming for 30 frames per second solid at 1080p. For next gen, they will be at 60 frames per second at 4K and HDR, with 120 frames running on high-end PCs. And the only ones that are going to get anything above 60, they said, will be high-end PCs. What does that mean? I don't know. High-end PC, Mayo.
Yeah.
You better have one.
What do they consider high-end? You see articles all the time. Like, I remember just running across something on Guardians of the Galaxy on Steam, And it was on a community forum, and this guy's like, I have a good PC, but I'm getting 18 frames of Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm like,
1060 or something?
that's probably not a high-end PC, you know? And sure enough, the guy was like, yeah, I have a 1050 with an AMD, like, it was like...
What a hobo. What a hobo, right, Ryan?
Like a 5300 or something like that.
That guy is not buying Canada NFTs. He's not.
He's got a hobo PC like mine.
Yeah, kind of hobo is that?
It just depends what you call a good PC, I guess, you know? Because, like, we can say this is a good PC, but other people will be like, no, you know, or, you know.
For the highest settings on Ultra at 2160, Ubisoft recommends a Intel i9 9900K or an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X, which I do have, but I don't have the following. They also recommend a GeForce RTX 3080 10 gigabytes of RAM or an RX 6800 XT 16 gigs of RAM for running this shit at 4K. For 1440p on Ultra, they recommend a AMD Ryzen 5 2600 and an Intel i5 with the Intel i5 8400. They recommend an RTX 2060 or an RX 5600 card.
That's a big difference between
4K
and 1440.
Yeah,
I mean that's a big drop when you go from a, would you say a 3080?
Yeah,
from a 3080 to a 2060.
yeah.
You know, I was expecting to hear like a 2080 or something like that, not like a 2060, because that's kind of, to me, that's like a entry level card anymore.
Yeah, says here for 1080p gaming. At low settings, they recommend the 960 or a 560 gigabyte or 560 AMD card. 960 would be a GTX card. And they recommend for high settings on a 1080p to have an i7 or a Ryzen 5 1600 with the 1660 card, for that's an NVIDIA card, the 1660, or an RX, which is an AMD card, the 580. So recommended. Those are the specs for the PC. They did put it on the PC. It will feature uncapped frame rates, Vulkan API support, several customization options, widescreen supports, as well as NVIDIA DLSS support, NVIDIA Reflex support, and an in-game benchmarking tool. So there's that, if you are interested in that. This is coming out on everything: PS5, Xbox, consoles, PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Stadia. The game will be on Game Pass day one, both PC and console.
I feel like it's going to need to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think it needs to be.
I'm not going to say much more about it, but I just have a feeling like I think it's going to need to be on Game Pass.
Yeah, it'll help it for sure.
In another news, another company.
There's one more piece of news that you haven't talked about, Jesus, and it has to do with Ubisoft as well. Is that what you're getting at?
No, what are you talking about?
Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that trash. Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox.
Was that confirmed? Yeah. I thought I saw somebody posted that it wasn't, and then I that it was.
No, it's coming to Xbox. It's not coming to Game Pass.
That's what it was.
It's coming to Xbox.
People were all confused that it was coming to...
Extraction is coming to Game Pass, and Ubisoft is just coming to Xbox. Ubisoft
the subscription,
Plus.
Yeah. Which, in my opinion...
Get it there. Okay.
In my opinion, something that, we've talked about in the past where they should have just had it on the console. Well, now they're doing it. They must listen to the podcast or something. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's
news,
a long time ago, right? If you're going to do a subscription thing like that,
just do it.
And you're going to add it. Why didn't they put it in consoles? That's where you're going to reach more people.
There's all kinds of legal tape behind it. And Microsoft has to approve of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's...
I feel like it's been long enough now that you wanted to push to get that done by now. I mean, the EA's done that for a long time now.
It's been rumored. It's been rumored for like the last 6 months that it was coming. Just a matter of when. Actually, longer than that.
To me, that's the best way to play Ubisoft games because they don't ever seem to come out with too many new ones anymore. They just come out with new stuff over and over.
They all go on sale 6 months after they come out.
Right. And just buy the Uplay Plus on the PC and play them till I'm done, and then just unsubscribe because I don't buy their games anymore. Really, like I go on there and I subscribe for a month or two, and then I turn it off. Mm-hmm. Because once I'm done with Assassin's Creed, I'm done with it. I don't ever want to go back into that world. Or, Far Cry. You play one Far Cry, you play them all. Like, Far Cry's fun, but I can only take it in doses, so.
Yeah. That's another game that I've been playing that I have to go back to, Far Cry 6.
I mean, I think it's fun. It just, it's Far Cry.
Yeah. That's how I felt about it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad. It's just what it is.
It's Far Cry.
Yeah.
In other news, Mayo, which is a new company, is coming out with a handheld gaming PC. This may compete with the Steam Deck. That is completely right, and that is their goal, Mayo, to compete with the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
The basic Next, the Next Advanced, and the Next Pro models will share a number of common things, including they all have a 7-inch 1280 by 800 IPS LCD display. They will all sport a Ryzen 7 5800 CPU, an AMD Radeon Vega 8 graphics card, but they will all differ in RAM, storage, and color options. The Next Pro will have 32 gigs of RAM compared to the Advanced and Basic. They both have 16 gigs of RAM. And the Next 1 terabyte of storage, the other ones are going to have 2 terabytes of storage.
I mean,
and
I feel like this thing's going to be like a bargain price down the road.
They are saying that you're going to get about 2 hours of battery life playing Grand Theft Auto 5, 4 hours if you're playing Hollow Knight, and 6 hours if you were playing Celeste. These are going to be most likely sold out, they've said. And the Next, which is the basic model, will cost you $1,315 at retail.
Oh, that's all?
And if you support during the crowdfund, which is over now, you would have been able to get it for $1,265. The Next Advance will retail for $1,465, and if you were, you could have bought it for pretty much $100 less if you paid for the crowdfunding when it was crowdfunded. And the Next Pro is going to retail for $1,565, and yeah.
I just don't think they compete.
Not that.
Not saying they can compete with Steam, but Steam can advertise. They're going to put it right on Steam. Hey, get this, and this. This thing has to be found. Where are they going to advertise? Were you going to advertise this thing online, or where?
They were waiting for a launch because they were going to launch this year. Last year they were going to launch it last year, but they delayed the launch till after CES, Las Vegas 2022. Because they were saying that they were waiting for a new AMD announcement. But AMD announced their 6000 series CPUs, but this company is now saying that they will not have those CPUs available to put into these devices.
Right.
But later on in the year, the newer versions, so if you were a crowdfunder, you won't be getting the one with the 6000 CPU in it. The 6000 CPU will be coming for the later models.
How much do you think those later models are going to cost? They're going to cost even more. It's just ridiculous. You can't. You're not going to be able to compete with Valve's advertising. B, you obviously can't compete with Valve's price. You're going to get blown out of the market. This is stupid.
This is for the master racers, right?
Well, you're a small company.
This for the master racer. Listen, if you look at this thing, it looks like a.
No, yeah, you're probably right.
It looks like a Switch. It looks really nice. Have you seen this stuff, Mayo?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Okay, hold on. Let me. You know what?
Link it to me. It just, it's gonna be hard to find. You're not gonna just walk into a store and see this thing on the shelf.
Click on my live video. This is what it looks like. This thing right here.
At least on Steam, it will.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean it's okay.
It looks nice.
Switch.
It's a very nice. I like.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It's nice.
Mean, I guess the other thing is
it's a very nice.
What is it going to run? What is running on that? What is
everything.
He means like Linux, Windows.
God damn it, you. Everything.
So you can just
son of a bitch.
It's just like a PC in your pocket. I don't know.
Yeah. If it's Linux based, it's going to be limited to games because not everyone runs on it. It's Windows based, and then you got that.
I'm gonna buy this.
Pretty much has to do their own stuff with Linux, and they have to do some kind of thing to, get a lot of their games to work on that. But I don't know. It just
they've done that though.
I feel like I've been around this game long enough to know that this thing's going to flop.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of things that have a weird name that just never come out or never make it.
I feel like the Steam Deck isn't going to do well either. It's going to be all
I think
right,
that has a
but
better chance. I don't think it
it
will.
has a better chance
either.
than that does, anyways. It has a lot of marketing behind it, and it has, Valve money.
I didn't put it in the news, but Steam keeps breaking records and concurrent users. They broke their, they had, I think, 3 million more than last year at this time, concurrent users on average. And they keep, breaking their own records. They keep growing. But even as Steam growing, and you have people in Steam all the time, and they see this advertisement for this portable thing, you probably have a small percentage of the people getting that even. So if you have this other unit out there, that where's this going to advertise? You can't advertise in a store because you can't.
Yeah, they're going to have to spend a lot of money to advertise.
And where are you going to put it on? You'd have to put it on Twitch or something and get a commercial on Twitch because.
Yeah.
In other news, I got some news here. This is a weird story. This is a kind of a interesting article that I was reading. It's pretty long. But it's pretty much talking about how Roblox is now being accused of child labor, illegal child labor. Pretty much, this is saying because they're, a lot of video games in Roblox are made by little kids. They really are. Roblox itself is a developer tool. You can use it to make video games. And apparently, there's a story here about this girl who her name was Anna, and she pretty much created a video game on Roblox when she was about 8 years old or 9 years old or something like that. When she was 10, the game was gaining popularity, and a group of developers reached out to her and said, hey, we've noticed your game and we want to make your game better. Like we want to make this into an actual game in Roblox. Like we want to develop it. We want to develop on it. So they agreed to bring her on the team. So she was part of like the initial founders of this company, which is like 4 or 5 of them. Yeah. And at the time, they agreed to pay her, because she was underage, so she couldn't really work for them or whatever. So they agreed to give her 10% of all profits made on the game. Whenever they were gonna,
That's cool.
Soon enough, she was making more than her parents were making annually. She was making about $300,000 a month.
Holy shit.
Or a year or something like that. No, a year. A year. She was making $300,000 a year. And she was like 14, 15 years old working on this game. She said she helped the entire development process. She was the one that designed the levels. She was the one that came up with the ideas for the game. She was the one that was really the creative mind behind the entire game. But when she turned about 17, she said that something kind of happened. She says the game actually started growing like exponentially. Like they were making like a lot of sales in Roblox. Like they were making too much sales. Like the game was getting too big. So the company ended up being bought out by another developer, like another publisher. Like they noticed them and they're like, hey, we want to buy you out because we noticed your game, we want to buy them out. Well, what ended up happening was since, this shit,
the kid lost the rights to the game.
Literally, yeah. She was pretty much screwed out of the whole deal because she was underage at the time. She never like signed a contract saying like, I own so much percentage of this game. She never got a contract. She never got anything in paper or writing or nothing.
Yeah, that sucks.
So she said that at the time,
but it was a wild opportunity, a wild ride for her. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's something.
But she says that, she contributed basically everything to the project. She said she did the animations for it. She did the sounds for the game. She did the 3D modeling. She did the level design, the programming. And she pretty much became a professional developer, she said. But the project had made more than $2 million at the time of being bought out. And it was all, she was only making revenue off the 10% that they were making off of their revenue. So she was only getting 10% of the cut or whatever. And pretty much she says that pretty much Roblox came out and said that kids, we're going to become independent contractors with fixed salaries. And so for her, the company said, well, now you have to have a fixed salary to work for us. So they offered her a salary to work for the company, you know, because Roblox said the kids can no longer be taking money off of profits. You got to actually give them a fixed salary and make them part of the team. So they offered her employment to work for the company. They said, look, since you can no longer take 10% of our profits, we're going to give you a salary. Well, the salary that she was going to get paid was 40% less than what she was making per month or whatever, you know, per year, just off the revenue, you know what I mean? So they were kind of like fucking her over, you know what I mean? Taking like 40, you know, taking what, 60% more or whatever, or 40% more than they were making before.
At that age to be making that much money?
Yeah. But she said she was making more than Google developers at the age, you know, she was making more than like most programmers out there, you know.
Yeah.
And she says that she takes it all as a learning lesson. She even put off college, you know, because she was making so much money every year.
Well, I'm sure she was learning a lot doing this. You know what I mean? Like, just that experience alone was like a huge, probably a huge learning experience.
She's probably going to become like a big game developer in the future, I would assume. Yeah. But there's other developers on here. Like there's another person that says that he joined a team, and you know, during his age, he was 11 years old when he's joined this team. He says that he was working on a game called Sonic Eclipse Online or something, like some weird fucking name. It was a Sonic game in Roblox. He was working on it, and somebody came up to him and said, hey, we want to make this a game, blah, blah, blah. He said, okay. And this guy pretty much told him, like, you're going to develop this game for me, and I will help you publish it on Roblox or whatever. So they kind of were making a deal. And the guy says that he was working like, he was being overworked as a kid. Yeah. He says that at 12 years old, pretty much from the age of 12 to like 14 and a half, he says, he was like doing developer crunch to get this game working, you know? And he says he's like, eventually, like, I was burnt out by it. Like, I was burnt out by like how much work this dude wanted me to do. He wanted me to do everything, and he kept pushing my fucking deadlines closer and closer, and he kept telling me he needed shit done or whatever, and I would just fucking do it for him, you know, to try to impress him or whatever. And you know, another
it's
person,
crazy that a fucking kid at 11 years old is able to fucking program a video game. You know what I mean? Good enough that somebody wants to publish it. It's insane to me.
Another thing that happened in this situation with the same developer, the same guy who was running this game, a girl joined his team, and she claims that the guy was sexually grooming her, like to sexually abuse her. She says that during the age of 12, she joined this team, and she says while Roblox, the team, like, they have a chat for developers in Roblox. You can talk to other developers or people on there or whatever. She says that that's monitored by Roblox, the developer, you know, that they monitor that chat. You can't say weird shit. You can't ask people, like, what's your age? You can't ask people, where are you from? Roblox automatically bans players if you start asking people, like, hey, where are you from? What's your age? What school do you fucking go to? Or whatever the fuck. Roblox automatically bans you. But this girl says...
take that very seriously.
Yeah, this girl says that this developer, to skirt all that, was using Discord as a chat to talk about the development of the game. So she says she was in the Discord, and this guy would often message her and like... She says for like a little while, you know, she says that like he would like, you know, was grooming her, and then he started like saying sexual jokes, you know, to her. And then she says that after a while, like she started liking the dude because she was, you know, she was trying to impress this guy or whatever, this older man or whatever, you know, that she was working under, and that she was trying to impress him. And then, but she didn't realize what was going on until she was about 15 or 16 when she got her boyfriend. And her boyfriend was like, what the fuck, dude? What? You talk to this guy like this? What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? And it kind of like woke her up to the whole situation or whatever. And ever since then, she was, you know, she left the team. She went to Roblox to try to complain to them and say, hey, this motherfucker's doing this shit. Roblox kind of said, well, you don't have any proof, really. I mean, so she went back to Discord, took screenshots of all the chats and shit. She made a YouTube video Then Roblox decided to do something about it. Roblox decided to ban that guy's account or whatever. And then fucking the dude put out an apology video saying that he would never meant it as like really like trying to hook up with the girl, that he was joking around. But I mean, you really joke around with a kid like that, man. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and he was doing this, you know, and he said he was joking around or whatever. He never really directly apologized to her. And she says during this whole time, this motherfucker was making money off of this game that she was working on while she was being sexually fucking exploited or whatever, you know, groomed by this fucking weird dude or whatever, you know. And she's like, and this could be happening to other kids, you know, in Roblox or whatever the fuck, you know, like, so apparently Roblox says that they're working on it, that they're trying to filter out any bad shit in the game or any bad shit in Roblox. Roblox itself says that, you know, they're trying to be kid friendly or whatever, and they're trying to monitor everything. But people that actually have done this, like Anna and this other girl and this other guy, they're like, no, dude, like little kids are being overworked, like they're being made to crunch. Like fucking work like the game developers and make a fucking video game or whatever for these other people to make money off of little kids, you know? And yeah, Roblox did go public last year, right? They went public, so they're now they got stocks and shit. When they went public, they were valued at $41 billion. And since then they've gone up because last year there was way more users than ever. They had like an increase of like 20% more users or whatever. They say roughly about half the kids in the country of the United States alone are subscribed to Roblox. Like half the kids in the entire country.
That's crazy.
That's just a huge number, dude. You know what I mean? They say about 50 million kids or 50 million just users log into Roblox every single day. That's on mobile, consoles, PC, everything. That's a lot of users, dude. And but yeah, Roblox, even though they said they said that despite this money thing that they're claiming, they say there's about 1,000 games only in the entire Roblox library of games that generated more than $30,000 in revenue in 2021. So only 1,000 games out of all the games available in their library of games generated more than $30,000 last year. But I mean, some of those games are legitimately making millions of dollars. Like that girl Anna, she said her game was making over $2 million by the time she ended up leaving the company or whatever. You know, that's a lot of money in a year, dude, for like a little indie bullshit fucking Roblox game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's insane though. But you're right, Ryan. In a way, it's kind of cool to see kids being able to make shit like this. In a way, it's fucked up that like they don't.
I just
have
wish
any...
it was safe for them to do so.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like they don't have any protections for the kids, right?
Yeah,
like, it's fucking weird, you know. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as like all these little kid pop star artists. You know what I mean? Like they go through the same shit where they're, you know, you can't make money and then you get screwed over because, you know, when you were popular, you weren't actually, you know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. You know, and their parents steal all their money from them.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, listen. I gotta duck out.
Okay.
I gotta take off. Sorry, guys. It's getting late.
Hey, yeah, you gotta get the fuck off my land, bastard. Yeah, 30 days to vacate, Ryan. I'm coming.
Okay, all right, Jesus. I'll see you when you get here, buddy. All right. Have a good night, guys.
We'll see you
later.
Dude, I mean, you're making fun of this, Ryan? Okay, listen. Listen, Ryan. This guy named Tartus DiCaprio on whatever, I don't know where he's, I mean, that must be his username on OpenSea or whatever. Okay, listen. He sold one of these pictures of Canada. Guess for how much? It's the only one ever made about it. That he made over it, but guess how much you sold it for?
5,000.
You're not even close.
Higher or lower?
Way higher.
Not even close. Way higher.
You're
200,000.
Not even close still. Way higher.
$1 million.
Higher.
2 million.
Higher.
5 million.
Okay, now lower. He was sold it for $3,315,000, dude.
That's all.
That was the only one he made. $3 million fucking dollars, Mayo.
Crazy.
Wow. I mean, how? What's going on here? What
I don't know.
What are we doing? Who's buying this shit?
Right.
What is in it? What are we doing? I mean,
what a weird world it's getting to be. I listened last week how you guys were talking about, the whole crypto city. What a crazy thought.
Well, you know that the country of El Salvador. Actually, it's funny. I met a girl from there not even that long ago, but she moved here. She said the country was a shithole. But last November or whatever, last year, right, or September. All of a sudden, I'm talking out of nowhere, Mayo. The president went on national news, not worldwide, but nationwide, and just announced, "Hey, we know that currently we're using the U.S. dollar as our currency, but fuck that. We're not going to use Bitcoin."
Yeah, this is crazy.
Overnight, he said, "We're going to use Bitcoin beginning tonight." Literally.
Can you just imagine? Can you imagine being in that country can you imagine being in the United States and then the president just went on and was like, "Guys, we're changing it. We're going to Bitcoin starting tomorrow." Can you imagine what that would do? The confusion that we would have here in the States.
And with that announcement, he said that every single place in the country, every market had to accept Bitcoin. Legally, they had to accept it. You cannot deny someone. If they go to your fucking store and they want to buy something with Bitcoin, you cannot deny them legally to buy that thing. Now, they said that businesses had the right to convert that Bitcoin to cash, US dollars, immediately if they wanted to. They can convert it. But they had to accept the form of payment as Bitcoin if the person only had Bitcoin to pay them with or whatever. Or if they wanted to pay with Bitcoin, that's what you had to accept. And with that announcement, he also announced that every citizen in the country, or everybody, and pretty much everyone in the country, would get $30 of Bitcoin. So they gave $30 worth of Bitcoin to everyone in the country.
Get things started, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine let's shift gears again. Why hasn't Disney done this? I'm surprised that Disneyland hasn't said, "We're making our own currency, and you got to pay for that shit before you come to Disney."
And then inside, and then inside, we're going to charge you with the Mickey Mouse coin.
Right, and then you have to buy it before you have to buy a package.
Then they inflate the price because you got to buy these huge packages of coins, and then you don't get to spend them all, so you always have extra coins.
Well, you know how when you go to some of the places where it's it's not the price of one, it's one and a half.
Yeah.
You have to buy two to get the thing you want, but you have these 500 left, let's say.
Yeah.
And you can't buy anything for the 500.
So now you got to buy the other pack?
Okay, I better buy another pack of 500 because the only thing I can do is buy something for 1,000.
You know what? Let's call Mickey Mouse Clubhouse right now. I'm going to email them, be like, "Yo, guys, I'm going to be your new chief financial officer with this great idea. You guys are going to love me."
My work does that crap. We have this vending machine where I do my work, right? And they have this, it doesn't take change. It only takes bills, right?
Yeah.
But everything's $1.10, $1.20, right? So you have to put $2 in. And then you have 80 cents credit, right? And so you have an account. And so you go, "Okay, I have 80 cents credit." Next thing you go, it's $1.20. You got to put another $1 in there because you only have 80 cents in there. Now you have $1.80. So now you got to, and this credit is always there. You can never, it's really, really, really hard to get your balance to zero. You know what I mean?
Wait, so the machine remembers your name?
Yeah, you have an account, basically. You can do a fingerprint account, or you can just use, they give you a card.
What kind of fucking,
you can put money, and you can put money in this card.
What shit is this?
Right? So say you put money, okay, so my employer, they give you this card when you first get hired, right?
What the fuck?
You're a new employee, and this is how you're paying for your lunch, right?
What?
But we have a really high turnover rate, okay? So how many people are leaving money on that card because they're getting fired, they're quitting, and you think 20 cents here, 30 cents there, but when you start, talking
Wow.
so many people over time.
It's such a scam. You know what? I'm
it
filing
just
a lawsuit.
adds up. I'm like,
Have
there's
you
probably
been
so
a
much money
victim?
laying there that have left?
Have you been a victim of this machine? Call us now. The Jesus Gonzalez Law Firm is here to help you. We're going to fight
That's
for
just
your
crazy. But that's what it
pennies.
reminds me of. When we talk about this Disney thing, it's like you never have enough cash on there to pay.
Yeah.
I mean, you always have enough cash, but everything is always an odd amount, and you can't add change. So you got to do it in dollar bills. Okay, so everything's $1.10. And finally, one day, it probably took me like a couple months. I got to a zero balance.
I'm never going to buy nothing from this piece of
I
shit
never bought
again.
anything again. I literally got rid of the card. I cut it up. I pretty much don't use it. Like, I do not go back to that. Like, I will not use it again.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, there's probably so many people that have come through that company.
That is nuts.
We have a high turnover, and they all are, I'm sure, leaving money on there because it's so hard to leave not have a balance on there.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, you're right. The Mickey Mouse coin.
I'm surprised Disney's not doing that. Yeah.
When you
Mickey
walk
Mouse
in,
coin, charge you extra for that.
you
make
walk
you leave
in,
some money there every time.
What would be even crazier would be Disney Plus members get a discount.
Right?
So now you force everyone to sign up for Disney Plus before they go in to get that 5% discount or whatever. But little do they know, now they're fucking stuck paying Disney Plus every month.
Yeah, but you got to have Disney Plus for 6 months.
Oh, that'll be a terms and conditions. You must be you have to be a Disney Plus subscriber for over a year to get this discount.
Like you do a guaranteed year subscription,
or have paid 12 consecutive months, right? Like 12 months back to back. Yeah. If you pay 12 months already, you're good. Or you got to be locked in for a future year. Dude, we're making
a contract kind of thing.
Dude, if Disney's listening right now, we're making you guys all kinds of money right now. Listen, this is Gunny's NFT, by the way, but we're making you all kinds of money too. We're making everyone money. Listen, this is a financial podcast now. We're making everyone money. Man, we're just here to help the people invest their money wisely. And,
we are,
we're just here making all people money. We're making Disney money.
Some ideas.
We're making Gunny money. We're making all the monies here. Yeah? All the monies are being made. We are money-making motherfuckers.
Something like that.
Yeah. And you give us your money over at patreon.com/horriblegamers. Give us all your money, too. We need some more NFTs. We need money to buy some.
Right. Start putting some stuff behind the paywall over here. You can get live content if we put it behind a paywall. You pay us so much per month, you can get the live Twitch feed.
Can you sell yourself as an NFT?
There you go.
What if I make myself an NFT and I sell myself to somebody?
Everybody would want to buy JesusWalksAlot NFT.
How much do you think
that would be a high demand?
$300,000 maybe?
Whatever you say.
What should I start the bid at? I don't know. But if I make myself an NFT, how does that work? Do I just follow the people around? Hey, guys.
You just have Gunny and I do a bidding war, and then we'll start advertising it.
Or inflate the money.
Split it 3 ways.
Oh, you guys will inflate the bid,
yeah, we'll inflate it. We'll get the price up there, and then when we sell it to some stranger, we're gonna split the cost the profit 3 ways.
Yeah, but then that fucking stranger will own me, or my NFT or whatever.
Your digital likeness.
You know what? The U.S. government already owns us all as NFTs. We all have social security numbers. We're all NFTs, guys. This is the Matrix. We're all NFTs. That's what it is, Mayo. We're all NFTs already. You didn't know it, but you've been an NFT your whole life.
Right. I feel like it. I just feel like what's been missing.
You've been owned by the U.S. government your whole life. You're a fucking NFT. Yeah. Anyways, with that being said, just go to sleep tonight knowing that you're an NFT to your government. Yeah, you thought you knew what NFTs were. Now I'm exposing the truth. You guys thought these conspiracies were over, but Ryan is gone now. Conspiracies are back, Mayo. You're all NFTs. No. You're all NFTs now. Woo! You're all NFTs. Ryan is an NFT. He doesn't know it, but he's an NFT to Canada. You're an NFT, Mayo, to Ohio. Ohio's an NFT to the government. The government's an NFT to the world government.
Do I get to Camaro NFT?
It's all an NFT, man. It's all NFTs. It's all. Yeah.
I think we should just move on to some community questions. I don't know. I'm kind of.
I think it's time. Community question time, man. But first, get your PlayStation Plus games: Dirt 5, Deep Rock Galactic, Persona 5 Strikers. And on Xbox Gold, games with gold are Neuro Voider and Radiant Silvergun. And, yeah.
On your Epic Store, you guys were talking about this last week. I think you still have the Tomb Raider games on there.
Okay.
It might have changed. I don't know. I haven't looked. But you guys did seem a little confused. If you do read the writing at the beginning, it does say Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Tomb Raider. They are 3 different games.
Are they?
Yeah. I know they have like that Game of the Year and Definitive Edition, but if you look at the titles on them,
maybe I was confused.
Yeah, if you look at the title and actually read the titles on them, they're actually the 3 games. I was the same way. When I looked at them, I'm like, are these the same game? But if you look at but the way the writing almost looked like it blended, like it just kind of like
it's all the same to me, man. I don't know.
But it should be Rise of Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then just Tomb Raider.
All I understand now is NFTs.
Right? That's all you see.
That's all I see now. Everything's an NFT to me. Mail, your dog is an NFT. Your bed is everything's an NFT to me now.
You guys like seeing like it's like the Matrix, right? When once you've seen it, like you can. It's all you see is code.
It's
like
all I see now.
Of you.
All I see is NFTs all around me, guys. It's all I see now. It's my life is ruined. Don't go into the NFT rabbit hole like I did. Don't follow the rabbit into the hole. It's all NFTs, man. It's all there. I saw a funny ass.
You out of it.
I saw a funny video today. It was an NFT PlayStation 5 standing up, right? It was standing up, and it was next to a refrigerator, like an Xbox mini fridge, and the fucking PS5 was like nearly the size of that fridge, dude. It was like it's so fucking
I've seen that
huge.
mini fridge box. It is.
It's so fucking huge. Like the mini fridge is standing next to it. And it's hilarious. The dude walks up to the mini fridge and opens it up, and it's literally like the size of the PS5, just about, dude. Like the PS5 would have to be like maybe a couple inches taller, if that.
Yeah.
To be the same size as the fucking fridge. So that means if they made an actual PlayStation 5 mini fridge, it would be the size of an actual refrigerator. Because that would be the actual fucking size of a mini fridge of a PS5. Yeah. Anyways.
Crazy.
What are the questions?
All right, moving on to community questions, Jesus. We only got a couple in here, but the first one, Jonathan Hall wants to know, who was the most alpha host of HGP in 2021?
I mean, it's gonna have to go down to the community, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was me, but I don't know, man.
I mean, you kind of are the glue sometimes. You are kind of the intro. We kind of fall apart when it comes to that. I will give you that much.
I mean, I don't know.
We'll see, I guess, right?
We'll see. It's gonna go down to the community. We're gonna have you guys vote on it.
We can try to answer this one. Darren Hilton says, Gunny, when Jesus was explaining Ready or Not SWAT game, does it sound like they literally copied SWAT 4? ? And he says, like word for word, what he was saying was SWAT 4, but it looks good and I want to play it.
Darren,
I never played SWAT 4, so I can't really compare the two.
Fucking play it, dude. This game is so good. I'm telling you, I'm excited for this January. I want to see the new AI that they introduced to the game, because they're saying they're introducing new AI, man. So new mechanics for the AI, the way they react to you, and also new voice lines for the people that are running away from you or running at you. Because right now, all they really say is "help me" or "fuck you, pig," or "oh shit, it's the cops." Or, oh, they're here. And that's all really.
Is there a lot of player models? Is it a lot of the same people over and over?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot, like I say, black guy with the big hoodie, white guy with the big hoodie,
It's a little bit of polish, maybe just
chick that looks like
a.
There's a few levels that are more done than the others. Like there's one level where like you have to rescue like these. I'm assuming it's like a prostitution, like sex trafficking warehouse thing or something. Mm-hmm. And you go in there and you find this guy that's like malnourished, like eating dog food and shit, like in a container, like he's in a fucking container, like laying down. He's like all dying and shit. He's like eating dog food, like they're feeding him dog food or something. And it's like, and then like you go to like the upstairs and you find like where the sex workers are the girls, and they're all wearing like fucking panties and like ripped up t-shirts and shit. You're like, what the fuck? And like, there's another level where you find a little kid like in a bedroom, like a little kid's bedroom, and like they're all like malnourished and shit, like in the bed laying there like half dead. And it's like some of these levels have like dark shit to them, you know. And but like I'm excited to see what they bring to the new AI, the new character. They also said that they're gonna have new character models for the enemy AI specifically, I think. So I hope to see like different enemy AIs or whatever. They have different models for the SWAT team cops now too, so you can actually change where your cop looks like. You know, they have different models of the cops. They got some wearing like the baklavas or whatever, like the face mask, fucking mask things or whatever. They got some wearing like nothing or whatever. You know, different models or whatever. Black, white, Asian, brown or whatever cops. I don't think they're
glad. Good. Well, I was just say I'm just glad the game's kind of the way they are today. Back in the old days, we would never had this ability. Like they would have had to release the game and it wouldn't have been changed. We complain all the time about playing stuff in beta, or the game is never fully released, but they keep adding to it, and the game is always in beta. But you know what? Back in the day, like if this was like an old school, say Nintendo game or an old school PC game, you got what you got, and you would never really get any updates after that. It's nice that they can continue to follow up with that and improve upon it. And I think it's better for these smaller developers because they continue to make the game good, and
and
keep building upon it. And that's how these games grow, I think.
Yeah, the people making this is Void Interactive. Now they had to deal with the publisher. I forget what the publisher's name. But apparently that deal fell through because that publisher had announced last year that they were working on the game, and they were the ones publishing the game. And Void Interactive was like, oh yeah, we're publishing with these guys. These guys are going to help us fund the game for development, and we're not going to release on early access because these guys don't want us to. So pretty much in the beginning, the only people that were going to have early access, Mayo, were the crowd, because the game was crowdfunded originally.
Gotcha.
It was originally a crowdfunded Kickstarter game. So only the people that had paid into the Kickstarter were going to get access to this beta. But then something happened between last year and this year where the deal with the publisher fell through for some reason or another. And the game was kind of in limbo because the developer announced, we're not going to publish that. And Void Interactive was like, well, fuck. We lost our publisher. What do we do? And they were just like, fuck it, put it on Steam Early Access. And they went to Steam Early Access. Now, some users felt like they were ripped off because they paid into the game on the Kickstarter with the promise of, hey, if you bought into our Kickstarter, you were the one that were going to play the Early Access. But the game just went straight into Early Access, and anyone who bought into it can play it, right? So... Right. There's two versions in the Early Access. There's something called the Founders Edition, which is I'm assuming the Ultimate Edition of the game. And that one is $70. And the Standard Edition of the game, which is the one that I own, is $40. Now, the only difference that I could see that the Founders Edition gets you over the Standard Edition is literally skins for the cop maybe, and I don't even think the cop gets a skin. I think it's just your guns get skins. And that's really it. Literally,
it looks
that,
to me, that kind of thing.
There's nothing else to it. Like everyone uses the same gadgets. They don't get I think that with this January update, I was reading the patch notes, and they did announce that the people that are part of the Founders Pack or whatever, that they will get a special gun. So I think they get a different variant of the M4A1 or something like that. So I think they get a different variant of that. and with the special skin on it, maybe. And I think that's about it. So maybe it could be that if you're part of the Founders Edition, that you get like maybe like different types of guns, or maybe like just different skins for your guns, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so this game was originally just going to be published, Mayo. And the deal fell through, and now they're just on early access.
Yeah. Well,
So
hopefully they keep
I don't
supporting
know.
it and keep pushing it. And
Some people were
Improvement.
worried. Some people were worried that the early access was a cash grab. They were pissed off because they were like, "How the fuck did you promise us early access and then you give it to everyone?" People were pissed, dude. People were
yeah, I can see
legitimately.
that. I
like
would be,
the-
you know, if you
Some of the
Thank you.
reviews on Steam were like, "This game is nothing but a cash grab. Don't support them. They're stealing your money." Blah blah blah. Like a lot of people were saying that, and then the developer had to come out and say, "Like, no, look, like we appreciate you guys that funded us through the Kickstarter, but like that money initially got us up and running, and the publisher gave us more money, which kept us going. But now we lost that publisher, and now if we don't get this money from the early access, then the game is dead. We cannot continue
Right.
developing it." So apparently what they're doing is the money they're making off of Steam or whatever with the early access is what they're using to continue to develop the game. Now, I personally hope this game is a success, dude, and like it comes to consoles, because the game is fucking dope, dude. It's so much fun. I'm telling you, like, this is what Rainbow Six Patriots should have been, dude. Like, you're going into crack houses. There's a fucking dead child in the bedroom. There's fucking crackheads everywhere talking about, "Fuck you, pig." And, you know, they're fucking shooting at you through the walls and shit. You know what I mean? You're kicking fucking doors in. Yeah, you know, like, it's cool as shit, dude. You know what I mean? You're putting C4 on doors and blowing doors up and shit and breaching shit. But Rainbow Six was nothing like that. It was all fucking multiplayer bullshit. Fucking, it was cool, but like, it was nothing from what we saw in Patriots. Remember that cool video that they released
Yeah.
for Patriots? Where like it was like the SWAT team going into the building or whatever, and there was a guy with like a fucking banker or something in Wall Street, and he had a bomb or whatever in the office, and he's like, "I have a fucking bomb or whatever. I'm gonna blow this bitch up." And they had to go in there, and the dude like threw the guy out the window or something. Like, it was nuts. I was like, "What the fuck is this shit? It looks cool." That's what I want. I want to kill crackheads, Mayo. I want to kill bad guys with bombs. I want to kill sex traffickers. I want to kill all those bad guys. I want to shoot them all. Hands up, motherfucker. You don't put your hands up, you're getting shot. 0.5 seconds later. All right, listen, because these crackheads, man, they're fucking quick, man. They're like
yeah,
fast,
I'm
dude.
sure. Right.
You tell them, put your hands up. They don't put their hands up. You fucking shoot them. I made the mistake when I was playing with Nipron last night. There was this crackhead. He was shooting at my friends. He shot one of the cops. I go into the room, right? I see the cop dead on the ground. And I'm like, holy fuck, one of these guys shot this dude, you know? And I went around the corner, like around these crates, and this fucking crackhead was like hiding behind these crates or whatever, like just like standing back there in the corner, like in the fucking blind spot. I come around the corner, dude, and I legitimately just like froze for like, I want to say maybe a second, probably less than a second. I froze, and the son of a bitch shot me in the face and killed me, like right there. Just like all I heard was a gunshot, and my screen went black. And it's like, "Officer down." I was like, "Oh shit!" And all I do is go to spectate, and I see like Nipron and the other SWAT team guys running into the room, and it's like, "What the fuck happened here?" And they're like, "Kill the guy," and they're like, "Holy shit, Jesus!" And the other dude are down. They're like, "What the fuck happened?" And Nipron's like, "Jesus, what happened?" And I'm like, dude, I hesitated, man. The crackhead came at me like a fucking spider monkey and fucked me up, dude. All right? He fucked me up. But yeah, anyways, that game is dope. Play it. Just fucking play it, man.
One last question from Ghost Nico on the Discord. He says, in playing Halo Infinite, have any of you used the left shoulder button to fire the grapple using the muscle memory from Just Cause and wind up tossing a grenade? And then he says, do you feel that the open world Halo feels weird? I haven't played it, so I don't know, but I can picture that being like almost like Just Cause, like the way a little bit I hear about it, but don't a lot of games use that control scheme? I mean,
yeah, no, I mean Halo has always.
I'm thinking a lot of games are using this control scheme. So
I feel like Halo. I think LB has always been the grenade, so I don't think that's an issue for me. Yeah, I don't feel like that's an issue at all. RB feels right for the grapple, in my opinion. Had they mapped the grapple to anything else, it would have felt bad. You know, like if they would have mapped it to any of the face buttons like A or X or whatever, that shit would have been stupid, or B. I see the other thing maybe they could have mapped it to would have been maybe clicking in the thumbstick. But that's always melee by default, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, maybe, I don't know, man. Maybe you just need to get good, bro. How about that, Nico? You ever think about that? Huh?
More practice, right?
Yeah. Anyways.
That's it for community questions, Jesus.
All right. Well, that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, you can find Gunny with this NFT podcast, this one specifically, over on his Jeep, driving it through the forest. Yeah, you know, his own forest, because he's going to be super rich after owning this NFT. Okay. He's going to be super rich, right? He's going to have his own forest like that guy from Epic Games or whatever. He's going to buy his own forest next to that guy's forest. And Gunny's going to drive his Jeep all around his forest really fast. And, and go find him on everything as Gunny Chief. And something the Gunny HGP on PlayStation. And on Twitter, he's Keen Marston. That is...
Right? I'm always thrown for a loop when I see that.
It's like so dumb. Like, what the fuck? He just called himself the Gunny or something. What the fuck? Kane Marston? Like the most fucking...
It's so random.
It's like the most like... All right, hey, Mayo, we're going to put you under witness protection. And we're going to change your name to Kane Marston. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they would... Like, that's what it sounds like. You know what I mean? Like, you're under fucking witness protection or something. You know? Like, all right, bro. We're going to put you in... Your new identity is Kane Marston. You guys going to come up with a better name? No, that's the name you got. Kane Marston. Good luck. You know, like, what the fuck, Gunny? Anyways, you can find me on everything, Mayo, as JesusWalksAlot. I'll be playing some more Guardians of the Galaxy this week. Playing some more Mass Effect as well, and... definitely some more Ready or Not. If you guys, you know, friends pick this up, Mayo. If you pick it up, Mayo, I will play it with you. Maybe I'll gift it to you.
I need to pick it up.
I'm gonna
gift it to me. Yeah.
I'm gonna gift it to you, Mayo. You know what? You're gonna get a gift in a little bit here.
Okay. I'll take it.
I get you the ultimate. I get you the ultimate edition.
Oh.
You're going to have all the special skins. Dude, Dying Light's already out for pre-order on Steam, too. Dang, son. All right, let's look it up here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you can find me. Everything.
You're going to find me, you know, as the Mayo or the Mayo 1 over in Discord, Steam, and all that fun stuff, too, as well. My Twitter, Jesus, it's just Mayo. It's not the Mayo or nothing. It's just Mayo. We need to NFT that stuff, right?
Yeah, dude, that definitely needs to be an NFT for sure.
So, yeah, there's no the or nothing. I'm just literally just Mayo on there. So, go find me over there on the Twitter. Besides that, that's it, Jesus.
All right, find me on everything. Bye, everyone. Man, bye. Love you.
See ya.
Bye. Bye. Peace out.
Bye.
Sprouts. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to buy this shit. Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.